every process. And then
there were more than this, but you can see that the focus was on the big.
what the president has done from the 10th of January, instructing the Lands Commission that don't finalize any arrangement, halt every process, and then the clear directive that we are no longer selling these state lands is very important, and it's helping the work of ORA, because you see, we were going after what has happened in the past, and then it was continuing. So it made our work so difficult, because over the weekend we had to move in to stop so-called private developers, faceless developers, who were about to demolish 4 bungalows just behind the State House. 4 bungalows. The staff of Ministry of Foreign Affairs and then Gender, they reached out to us, distress calls. And you see, one of the bungalows, we'll go and show you, one of the bungalows had just been renovated with funding from the United States Embassy. And you have human trafficking staff of the Gender Ministry living in that bungalow. It was going to be demolished. And faceless characters. So the president's directive is timely.
And it's me for wutie a wunyanyare ye. Pe imbustable Miss Chanibi. Nefa bo ho by free nyarewa ho. Pe imbustable Miss Chanibi. Nefa boost the immune system no. Akra FM afidikasie ya so ne ma akwanya se atiefo ene wona onom imbustin frɛ na adanse no na ani kana na hyenyame ani monyam kyerɛ se obi ohon mo simini yare bia bet me de menum imbusti de bo me ho ban nipa bebre na ye adwuma wodo onipadua ye adwuma ekoba so oni refi ne ho se nipa de okwa wo ba wo ho memframa na wo didi no ne de wasa wo bo ho ban enu nti no okwa oba oye adwuma pesika gu ne botom na nso so onhwe kwan se onhwe ne ho se obebo ne ho ban frinyare ho wo se da kopɛ na yare abebo ne mpofiri mu na oda ho wasi nipa ne ho dendin mepa acho wasa wo bo ho ban enu nti se wo ye adwuma na sabusu bibia wo yi sika be 60 cedis editor imbusti mienu ana eto da krampa enuru unya baabi o mo de ya kyese wo enuru 60 cedis na wo de bo ho ban a eya esanse nipadua no eye ba akopɛ uni bi wo baabia apomde no soso no ekura ba akopɛ wo kyese free won sa unsa anya biem etimi dofo me pa cha bo ho ban wa bra udi imbustable mixture no eye waduro udi ye wonsuo na wonum na no pa wi anwumre na edi tosify nipadua na ma wo na yi stress every nipadua nim na bo nipadua ne nkwamwa amena tumi anya ahoden egyina na namo so apam niema bi ani kwan se ebe nipadua nim fa number si na ne ye mo nkomo 0246 20 84 96 0246 20 84 96 and 0540 71 01 13 0540 71 01 13 tamuchuku netiewe
na muya inankasa no tata nankasa no na medidi we do no sini nchen a me ba be enum e na meti se omo ye yo advert of free na me no ma me frɛ na me kasa man senti se edro no de obi kasa nya e dro pa e dro masa e ye na mo jima ono kwampo na chi ni kwampo no na sebi me be masem nso no na enhyeda anya yi meti won se me no be to amienu to amiensam ko no meti won se mani iti se nya kakra bi ji mani ami okay na se meti won se edro no eboa me iti me kasa man senti se sa police ne dro no de wo a wo yare apomudi enu nantie en afa kwampo no wanyia ye yikra no etumi ma wo society sa branch ma ondin pa eye etinu madase di amidi akire police ni edru na me ma wonu no no kofu de ase ma ba fi mo kofu de de bia sem etinu edru no eye pa obi anka no kotobi ma se wan pese be kase no na ma santi me edru no ye me fi me yakubuni me tumi twa santro no to masa won fro da ya de na menya wo so ade ai money dem be ka already so eye edru no ye me na me twa me si edru no ye edru no eye edru pa wonu ma emapomudi me si the person is sorry am chese kotoje no se na si ye me dada chese ache etinu metnya ka se eye kio ye kura but se na eye me tititi no masa me nye ni se do etu me na cheso a na me mo dudu chese sa na mani no afi season no eti edro no de father eye adase dia me wodi no wo ama me kapra me nimu wo ni mi me frikofo dia ena nya kofo dia so na mo ye adru no but me ye to amenu ma de ma ho wo a eboa me na me kama ma kan nya ti se wo yare nombi unu be to amienu ekono a wo obedi ho dance ye adase dia me dem pese me ka tie a no
egre na me fro di dance ya fa dumbusu no eye pa na dwuma di ama me no enya pawa egre na me chiri kase is pana call the trans cafe bi an ma bre it's na ma ni sisi na ya me ya after ni na me men sisa ni sisi if you tell me say you be one dance send and help ma no be to when na do ni say ni e ti aboa me no e do di aboa me papa me ya rekwa me no ma do di e se no nko anu ni me issue e ye papa e do ni die na me sha papa police pa no ma ni mu aho de no ta on fa ni yi be e be kan ko o clinical na we be clinic e no de to ya de o be clinic ni en ko ni em lo ba ho bi e ni na mo ya yale ya e ye do e do ni de me come to papa e do ni ye do papa bibi e mu
edro ni yedro bibia emu sa anika anase sa dance a ewo imbustable Mr. Hussein tini ye betena sese ya ye de anigye ehye wunkran emma wani da so biom se oyare ne se de tie bia no onsusu ubetimi anya oyare sa kire se menua ba ne kasa osena na chiri bremu anase na chiri kasa na ye ne ya ensusu nyame nam imbust so amasese otumi ye de wo se wo ye bia en wo se edro no eye adwuma obibia mu ebia na o menses o ye oba na wutie mi omenses ne entumi mbayi ana empo no odie ne eba nanso 2 days na etwa ebi kra odie ne eba nanso pains na wote no ano ye den obi die twa bia 6 months na mai ono so a onfa afru me pa cho na pesa wotete wa wontem ekwan afa so ye na amoa wo anase na onipadua no amfa enti ne amamenses na twa kra won so a wunya emfi anka wosenka omenses etwa ana wunya monopause me pa cho utie mi na pesa wodi ho free sa ne mayi ho a num imbustable Mr. Esanse wa dance e wo sa asema mekan yi ho afen so no utie mi ebi a wode no wachi bremo se de na me maame kan ukotodwe na ye wo ya usisi wonhu de wonya wo ho kora edura na dwa wontumi na eye insomnia wonum na ato na wontumi ni di oyam na wo aduane to yam wontumi ana wode nde malaria eba enche na aba ekọ na enche na asa aba ye kanfo imbustable Mr. Ediamao uti na tapai wana chese yade bia etiti wo ni padua ni mu no medafo a wutie mi num imbustable Mr. Say edifo bi nipo ene anyomtofo bi a omunya agidie wo imbustable Mr. Muno omo bompa ye ma omo patient omo wi omo set me di imbust no ema omo ani nyina adanse ewo ho eno timidofo a wutie me mema wa ba mu say ye stroke afidikase so ayenye testimonies a ye stroke mienu ewo Accra FM he ya testimonies mienu eti utie me na wo de ne say ye stroke mpo ena aka wato ho aka ma me bi ato aka onua bi ato ho ne fa na ajojo ana sabio na no astati epese echi a ya kan imbustable Mr. no Ediamao eye HIV virus mpo ena doctor de wato aduro so a hunu se aduro na wo nom no eye aduro be boost immune system na de enti ya kan imbuster ma one se eye bibidura side effect bia enimu na wo nom a epeja nkwamo na ho de entem so pa enu nti ni se HIV virus mpa wo so fa ho to so na num bi diabetes pressure yare krankro bia wo de aduro so no wo betimi anum imbust wa bra o ma ebre kakra don hwere baako abeto abra fuduro no any imbust entem enche bia na de ya no asi na me pa cho se de me di kan ye no afi mu choice bia wo make no ye careful eno ti ura herbal shop ura licensed chemical shop ura pharmacy bia mu na okopet edro ata mento edro bia se imbustable Mr. Police ni na dro no eno na ye kanfo ede ama wo na se utimi eya hweyiye wo niema wodi wura wo nipadua ni mu a eboabo ho ban ebo wapom de ho ban ebo wa adwene ho ban afeso so ebo ma wo nipadua no chese wo general well-being no etumi ekoso ohun nipadua na kwa nyina ye adwuma oyo ba wutie mi hormonal imbalance a me pacho pe imbustable Mr. be ma so me masam na conform pe natural strength ewo imbust mu wa bra side effect bia enimu Ekus Pharmacy ewo Ashaman Widama Pharmacy so Ashaman hwa tamana na boache wo ho okanshi dragon herbal shop sakese ne nketua imbustinya na wo mu tinated herbal shop organ hafa na bebia imbusto ho udru teshi gwono school ho no ma AK herbal ewo honom kaswa tribe of Judah achimota health alert shop Ghana hafa na bebia imbusto no ya to apeti o bebi na bia wunya bia frɛ ye 0246 8496 0246 208496 and 0540 710113 0540 710113 13 afei mu yɛde apɔmde mapa ɛkɔ yanim ne nyinaa ɛwɔ imbustable mixture mu yɛde anu si de kan hu sɛ imbustable mixture ne de ɛyɛ apɔmde mapa ɛna apɔmde mapa so yɛ imbustable mixture ɛnam sɛ police ni na yɛ yɛnti yɛka imbustable mixture medɔfo a wɔfɛ gye me so sɛ sini na duro no yɛde wasi ha sɛ nana bobi ansa ɛte na agwa ma ɔde dwumadi aka no ɛtoa so de amount ma afidie no ɛna ha ya Kristo yɛ adoma da sɛ ne mama imbust mesan so ɛne wɔ ahyia
100.5 FM 100.5
Uokrum
Accra FM
say no anka nami hum faswa ukrom hidin kwasi asemu a kachira no ukrom hi woni ne hunia kachira no ebise awieye biabebuabo mejina hamani abre papa
Nya okaka ho any taxes and levies ampa ohwe ade baako a ama Ghana kane na yese ye favorite destination for investment and it say na your taxes ne levies e wo form kakra and so afen so de em say senya aban ama your economy no ahwe ase no IMF program a omuko mu no IMF akachiro mo say yeto a yeje anasa revenue a ye nya no e wo see ye pager ekodru 24%. Kane near 15%. Taxes are almost there 2 years. A pager ya about 17 point something percent. And so almost by 2028, I will see it through 24%. In the chest, Omunya ye, sa taxes now de gue so no. And young Andrew Pempenswa, Yabeka say, Omoye. Entina now person omode VAT to electricity. So that was one of the reasons. And so, yes, at you see more equity. Anka by now electricity bill bia anka VAT edaso yankwani omai a ewo wiase ha nyina a echese yare aba eko a yeje yeto efa sa yare no COVID levy COVID aba eko China bibia COVID efrimpo yenje omo COVID levy nso Ghana kwani eje COVID levy enti sa nyoma no wo hwe emissions tax any sa taxes ni na eyeto a Abain added 2 years so as a result of IMF agreement on my year. And you know, because oh, meba mecha etuonumu. Wo abain no musisia so betimi etwa etuonumu a hyase netwa namato etuonumba from near hu. Menka say omontoma miansa meba sa etoi me ye firi ho. Enti nia woka no ne nokre no. One of the things I ben say you best streamline VAT because Mentiasia say obeko ejum na encroformiansa eton ade baako eye VAT 3% baako ne VAT e wo soro kakra baako so VAT ye 21%. Meanwhile omunyina the same customers. And she said, me bow hon now be Jimmy VAT 21%, and Meko ni obeje me 3%. And you see a streamlining so that traders in will pay the same rate in terms of value added tax. I feel so port send your kind of Toyota Vitz. Edano mini guta foshiaye me fa an example of car beer ubia imported and me kind levies and taxes also. About 23 levies and taxes. So what has a duty and it's an your manner and no you harmonized ECOWAS tariffs into duty no one to mean. But the problem the levies and port charges are illegal. And so I say about we rationalize all those levies. Ni say wo hono ye be ye free ho. Say na be ya be matron aba from kakra. But the major thing I was saying they say we have to stabilize the currency because it don't affect BBR. One of the reasons I'm and they said this week Ubeko na currency no, yes, Bank of Ghana say currency no, exchange rate near say. Into that one near Bejo port. The next week, Ubeko, Nasidi, a free, maybe a 14, about 15. Into that one now, Obetia in CDs, no, nature say a costro. Into one of the priorities of government will be to stabilize the currency and stabilize the economy. Senebeya Obia Asombejono. Into MC Moya Memanono. Since the elections, I have read and heard the word hope used many times in relation to my presidency.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I think it's a very good question and it's an opportunity for me to clarify. Mr. Chairman, I was on a show with the Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, and the contest must come out. The Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, at the time Minister for Information, I'm sure, had the responsibility to sell a government policy on betting. And he said, I'm surprised you are not bringing that portion. He said that betting tax is being implemented because it is destroying our youth, and that the government is introducing this betting tax he said the government is introducing this betting tax to deter them, equivalent to a sin tax, so that they will not be staking the bet. I retorted on a show being hosted by Evans Mensah on Joy FM PM Express. I retorted by saying that will not solve the problem. That will not solve the problem because I've read a number of articles, and the article presupposes or suggests that it is destroying our youth. And so if you want to introduce a tax, you have to first look at the elasticities, and as to whether the elasticities will mean that imposing such a tax will prevent the individual or the people concerned from the staking of the VAT, of the betting or not. But I doubt that will. And so if you intend doing that, the best option is to ban it and not to introduce a tax. And I said the tax will not solve the problem. Here we are today. I've been vindicated. Has the tax solved the problem as intended by the government? Big no. I insist that that tax must be abolished. And as Minister of Finance, my first budget, I will abolish the betting tax. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I think it's a very good question and it's an opportunity for me to clarify. Mr. Chairman, I was on a show with the Honourable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, and the contest must come out. The Honourable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, at the time Minister for Information, I'm sure, had the responsibility to sell a government policy on betting. And he said, I'm surprised you are not bringing that portion. He said that betting tax is being implemented because it is destroying our youth, and that the government is introducing this betting tax he said the government is introducing this betting tax to deter them, equivalent to a sin tax, so that they will not be staking the bet. I retorted on a show being hosted by Evans Mensah on Joy FM PM Express. I retorted by saying that will not solve the problem. That will not solve the problem because I've read a number of articles, and the article presupposes or suggests that it is destroying our youth. And so if you want to introduce a tax, you have to first look at the elasticities, and as to whether the elasticities will mean that imposing such a tax will prevent the individual or the people concerned from...
And Nana Akufo-Addo 3, I said I'll change your centralized feeding system. I'm going to decentralize the feeding of our children in secondary school. The money is going to go directly to their schools. and their schools will be responsible for procuring the food to feed the children in order that the food will be better quality. If you are listening to me, that is our position on free SHS. We're going to make sure that it works better, its implementation is better, the children have access to textbooks, they have access to good facilities in their schools. We're going to provide laboratories, we're going to provide dormitories, we're going to provide administration blocks, we're going to provide dining halls, and all the things that they need to be able to make a good quality learning experience.
What 100.5?
Safety is my concern, because your safety is my safety. And I was here educated drivers also say, if there's a motorcycle in front of you, it has a right to be there in front of you. Now, another thing, any insurance. You legalize here, you need insurance for no better than send you bet me more insurance no. Send a better BBS here. Now,
What 100.5?
Reports are that there were more than this, but you can see that the focus was on a big.
What the president has done from the 10th of January, instructing the Lands Commission that don't finalize any arrangement, halt every process, and then the clear directive that we are no longer selling these state lands is very important, and it's helping the work of ORA, because you see, we were going after what has happened in the past, and then it was continuing. So it made our work so difficult, because over the weekend we had to move in to stop so-called private developers, faceless developers, who were about to demolish 4 bungalows just behind the State House. 4 bungalows. The staff of Ministry of Foreign Affairs and then Gender, they reached out to us, distress calls. And you see, one of the bungalows, we'll go and show you, one of the bungalows had just been renovated with funding from the United States Embassy. And you have human trafficking staff of the Gender Ministry living in that bungalow. It was going to be demolished. And faceless characters. So the president's directive is timely, and we hope that it will help to sanitize the system. All right, thank you.
1.3 FM.
Reports are that there were more than this, but you can see that the focus was on a big.
What the president has done from the 10th of January, instructing the Lands Commission that don't finalize any arrangement, halt every process, and then the clear directive that we are no longer selling these state lands is very important, and it's helping the work of ORA, because you see, we were going after what has happened in the past, and then it was continuing. So it made our work so difficult, because over the weekend we had to move in to stop so-called private developers, faceless developers, who were about to demolish 4 bungalows just behind the State House. 4 bungalows. The staff of Ministry of Foreign Affairs and then Gender, they reached out to us, distress calls. And you see, one of the bungalows, we'll go and show you, one of the bungalows had just been renovated with funding from the United States Embassy. And you have human trafficking staff of the Gender Ministry living in that bungalow. It was going to be demolished. And
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I think it's a very good question, and it's an opportunity for me to clarify. Mr. Chairman, I was on a show with the Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, and the contest must come out. The Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, at the time Minister for Information, I'm sure, had the responsibility to sell a government policy on betting. And he said, I'm surprised you are not bringing that portion. He said that betting tax is being implemented because it is destroying our youth, and that the government is introducing this betting tax he said the government is introducing this betting tax to deter them, equivalent to a sin tax, so that they will not be staking the bet. I retorted on a show being hosted by Evans Mensah on Joy FM PM Express. I retorted by saying that will not solve the problem. That will not solve the problem because I've read a number of articles, and the article presupposes or suggests that it is destroying our youth. And so if you want to introduce a tax, you have to first look at the elasticities, and as to whether the elasticities will mean that imposing such a tax will prevent the individual or the people concerned from the staking of the VAT of the betting or not. But I doubt that will. And so if you intend doing that, the best option is to ban it and not to introduce a tax. And I said the tax will not solve the problem. Here we are today. I've been vindicated. Has the tax solved the problem as intended by the government? Big no. I insist that tax must be abolished. And as Minister of Finance, my first budget, I will abolish the betting tax. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I think it's a very good question, and it's an opportunity for me to clarify. Mr. Chairman, I was on a show with the Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, and the context must come out. The Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, at the time Minister for Information, I'm sure, had the responsibility to sell a government policy on betting. And he said, I'm surprised you are not bringing that portion. He said that betting tax is being implemented because it is destroying our youth, and that the government is introducing this betting tax he said the government is introducing this betting tax to deter them, equivalent to a sin tax, so that they will not be staking the bet. I retorted on it.
The vexed issue of the National Cathedral. On the vexed issue of the National Cathedral, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice directed government to audit the project and investigate any misuse of public funds. Government is enjoined to follow this directive and will soon activate such an investigation into the project. But on the future,
because me number me na me mpa ho hyehye de bia won me tena radio su ameka me mpa ho hyehye kura obi start CMG fufuro na ye wo powerhouse e ho ne ye ba be start CMG powerhouse ene frase 2015 me first day me be djuma mo na me start fully after me packing me car me hu se sister bi e free no office na wo tiesie na o sane steps no asi e form after me hwe se die sister yi steps ba ko yi ni nine ba ko no yi ni nine ba ko no yi ni nine mienu na wo see yes just say yi working skills in stance bia wo de ato so sifia ha be ye dwe.
On the vexed issue of the National Cathedral, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice directed government to audit the project and investigate any misuse of public funds. Government is enjoined to follow this directive and will soon activate such an investigation into the project. But on the future of the project, the cathedral, I believe that all of us as Christians must forge a consensus on how to achieve such a project without recourse to public funds. And this project must be achieved at a reasonable cost. In the current circumstances that Ghana is going through, it makes no sense to achieve such a project at a
Manfred Dumu Kwadumu. After 2025, and Shrebi as a fata will be an betty on fire and no more. Okay, after Yanya Juma. Said Yanamikan and Ra Vetting Committee Parliament, one more Etnas Appointment Committee Parliament, one more Tanasi. Dr. Kesa to Forsen, Minister, Finance Minister designate. One with the D can call vetting. Oh, send your make an okay. Yes, and you monintino. Yako Facebook for say yabam life enti yanko yanim. Mon share me page no na monfa emame. And now Dr. Kesa to Forsen. And na odi kan vete no. Na em se me be ye show nti me follow kakra. Me dru fie na me hu die ntia. Na edu jamfinum eni abra na wo mu buafu. Afenyo Markins in opposition as a minority leader no. Ope say ase woye hero bi. Ase woye hero bi na yakasa Afenyo Mark yes ope say woye relevant ya men kan sa. Woye o make some effort bi na woye relevant bi enti no chese enran wo ba na waboaboa no ho. Senra o hwe Dr. Kesa to force na said ye nim no odaboko ompre won ha ne ho won kire ne ho yaje wa kobie ne tie won pre won ha ne ho afenyo market na dwene se waboa ne ho but ono nso e kire se wodi fie nyansa ne common sense ene ebe answer be respond to questions bia a free micro minority group one mo ba no sa na decide yes odi efie nyansa ni nim de ni hyehu no odi be respond to those questions wo mo de ema no eya na me ka se adwuma we ye yenti etiemu ni pre no mo ni ade bia tem bia always no e was so we strategize how we be face nkrofo wo se wo face wo mo ena Gideon ba mi anipa no wonya MP wodi Gideon Boako chese onu so kwaye ne boss bidding ena wo de data buy ena GDP ena wo ka say data ni say no say masa me I just don't go out and talk say me person me ka science no na me call ya na me see me ye press conference Accra FM ye way na ma ba betra say me be propaganda na me the fake data ne figures na eba ena wo say bibia me bia opposition me de ba ye bia no e based on fact and was ko hwe IMF International Monetary Fund data na dia me kae no e wo ho no mo na fa na hwe se me di ntro a mo na mo di ntro mo ni Bank of Ghana Statistical Service and mo massage manipulative figures mo kire Ghana for say economy no ye robust economy ni ye bibia ye ena na mo che adapt to GDP na mo di ne MSCA inflation na mo di sie bibia na mo di sie Mudisia, na IMF for Baba expose mu. Enti suano, eye research. Na se IMF report about data ho. No dey back one kasa no research no waya. Na be ka say pa Dr. Bamia cho say okogina UPSA e ko kan ye say data we. Na fenyo markets nso ani abre na MPP fo ani agisa ha na MPP fo me be enlighten mu. Because me hu say ya ma yani amra ansha mo be ma NDC akọ over 30 years ye mu go opposition na mo ye no na me ba be biem ani na ufa social media mani age MPP minority caucus micro minority just say vetting committee so omani age ye ready nyankopon ma hwe ya say de mo frase ani say de president Mahamed frase de say say na mo be kono mo pa de ni MPP mo be ba pa we be cho say yeah because say the speed there President John Dramani Mahama e frase a wo kono se muso mo tena se ema sam nkrofo no mu leadership no a omo confuse mu no omo ma report no etokoso confuse mu mind na mu follow mu di omo chidi a any opposition dey am telling MPP supporters say mo better opposition a che se no a wo fe ba bia omo ni agi a omo hunu ni a omo nya wo mo say ye questions na omo bi say no se wo follow ya questions no ho so answers ye ba ye ni nyinada no when deviate from the previous press conferences any addresses no event no more kasa wase when deviating from the fact and then accurate information what the ma what be NDC won opposition no akọ verting no enti wani agia just afenyo markets per se wo magana for who say still na he dey form but on day form muni mu a say MPs kwa mom 88 me ka kira mama so atene omu ko dwa to omu ko pa NDC fo chew me ka amama so ate say before swearing in no MPs no omu nu 80 omu ko pa NDC fo chew NDC fo pani fo chew enu nti na some MPs bi ono mo a wo mu sit wo mo tete so no muni mu na me ka kira mu se muni mu ame kanchem anodon pray wo parliament because we akọ negotiate we akọ pa achew anya sanka no don pray ko ni parliament wan bo ama e wo Patrick bo ama mu nyina and then that court case na e be bright nom akwatia e na friends wo boase east nom na ade no MPP fo pa ekopa achew pa sei e no mo kwa pa achew se animguase na aba wo mo so ne so and then these political parties no wo mo leadership no wonim de wi a wo mo communication ni de wi o mo operate enti wo say me nam social media so na wo mo twetwe Baba Sadiq na Baba Sadiq so wi ni ye na se no lusu amasa madam men man de wo hunu no de leadership no na mabonte no mo kan en confuse your mind because oma confuse mu 8 years enti na mo we poto no in the history of Ghana politics Ghana election the ato MPP no ebi NC da no still mo da so follow wo mo enu amani agia mo hunu ni amonya mo ayi ko ye friend say John Jina Pokoye afenyo markings ebisa ne say an o ka kire Ghana fo say liquid fuel wo hono no ebetimi sustain Ghana just for 5 hours meanwhile wait thermal plant wey e 23 days thermal plant wey e hwan no say but liquid fuel wo hono no 5 hours me boa 5 hours enya me na me twere radio station bi anase Class FM online, City FM online, Joy FM online, any Star FM online no. Enye me na me try mo headline de ma wo mo. Osasema me kan is on record. 7 January, dia me kan ye e wa inaugural ceremony Independence Square is on record. And it's a fact. Some kono I was saying because of this West Africa gas pipeline one mo be shutting it down amachira say your friend is a gas a free Nigeria eba no yenya ninti no I was say that liquid fuel no na was say mo import to be ba transition team meeting no mo assure you say mo be import to be dia ba mo import to dia one mo no just 5 hours just 5 hours September plant no go off na say natural gas no mo enye bia ye ni any liquid fuel a ye di begu thermal plant nim and then you people know say na mu hia e was some call to because e was says that maintenance in CC no enka esi October and almost election year until yen suspend it to January after election. And then some maintenance na ekoso na those machines plant no ye shutting it down where you liquid oil. Ma oda. President Mahama jamu 6 months. Oja 6 months. Usu jani 5 hours. No waka we say and what create impression say as if say Ghana light be do 5 hours. Good thermal plant nim. Usu jani so na I say ye create unnecessary you be na say social media for any agya ya expose John po enti ya mo de ye adwini ya ye di follow ne men adwini ya da ye tirimu ne ya nyina ye di tie ne ma ete ne ma si no me bisa Ghana for say enu bi na mo so mo di tie e di follow process a ekoso enti ewiema dani ewiema sesa Ghana asesa all of a sudden enti mu hu ye enye mo amobone amu di amu twetwetwe jatototo market centers mu a ene ade a enka ewiemu asakra within a short time after 7 December 8 December 7 January enti Ghana asesa mo amu hu ni sento oman mu asesai enti mu hu ye mo ya gullible mo ye gullible too much mo mama dwuni mu ohadodo Monsisa FFC sa na ema no na nya de ebe boa mo monsisa obia ni hono mo Ghana ha say ya 2016 ya kwa election de ba umia ni president Kufuor nsem a wo mo ka de kire Ghana fo wo bia ni hono ma no hwehwe no ye na say ya no hwehwe dum e de ama Ghana da wonu me ye no mu bia adwuma ya tena KFM platform so ye de ma MPP Dr. Bamian na Kufuor Samia ukudi adanse minister Samia ukuni nsumu na na beba sami na eminam kumase de baby abefa bia se na na bebo na na beba because ensamo mo kan ti kire ne na ede e na me ka se ya nya critical thinkers enti ensamo mo kan ye no ye so mu se etwe ye faye ya nya critical thinkers enti se de Ghana ha sei Woman ma school nimu adie wom head Dr. Ransford Professor Ransford Jamponum Legon wanum professors numu KNUST professors num professors egu Ghana hanum nya woman to edi MPP achi na ye no sa say benfo omu nyina to di MPP achi Ghana hanum so ahu womu nyina etu ye edi di MPP achi middle class of one and him for the na obia to the MPP because message in na ede and today na obia share the free MPP one want say that message na ede no a e ma wo man mu ni panyi na enye agidie kesere sonko arehemu bi wo MPP mu no omo fam na meye adwuma na Ghana nye yie wo bia ne hono ma no wo hwe say MPP ani mu begu ase poto say de bonu megu ase da because MPP ahwe ase MPP ani mu gu ase no e yo how de ma Ghana for Dr. Bawumia failure na wa faili no ayo how adeswa de Ghana for and to be no after 2016 election na MPP win ye no na eye ne mpai boda say wo momra me destroy Ghana omra me collapse Ghana system da de na ye nyina ya hwehwe ye need that so nyina da ne say things will turn around even though na eniema ye but message omo de buy it sika so sika wo Ghana ha and excessive borrowing wo mo bro mo sia dodo eslowu su ka ya se ka bo sia bo a enka ne ba wo 18 years ebetimi abu oman ene sansem no ye Ghana fo de eto ya sum eto ye tirim. It is a professors woman ma school penny for Ghana hakra no aso some message ni mu a ordinary Ghanaian pedestrian talker obi asabe street walker onam street mu ton ade obi a wote market center ton ade obi wote ne store no ton ade ye no mu yaja sa sabemfo Yana yen so nsem ye so sansem nim enti at the end of the day the any hwede free MPP aba ho no say o ma ye adwuma e ma Ghana fo ho ntoye. It wasn't anybody's wish. Say President Kufuor mra me fail, Dr. Bawumia mra me fail, because at the end of the day no one mu failure ordinary Ghanaian e be suffer. Yes, ordinary Ghanaian and e be suffer. Enti adenti ena obi abaya president onya 1 month 7th edisi akonwa so ene date ye 14th after a week won pa ba wo bo nyina da ne se nipa ne be fail. Won pa ba wo bo nyina ne se President Mahama e be fail. Wonu mu kasa nyina ne se President Mahama e be fail. Because our president a fail. And then sometimes no omu hu say na na Akufo-Addo Bawumia e fail ye. Omu hu even though bebre di omu hu bebre hu but me hwe enye mpanifo na wo social media so. These young guys, any ladies, you social media so. Yeah, I was omu kura bufuo no. Womu kura na chese womu defend this mess, this useless government. Ghana ya witness your experience for 8 years. Yeah, ma wo mine say. So sometimes I wonder, say what is going on? E dia na ekoso. Say what Ghana has say. Na say after 8 years dear President Akufo-Addo, former President Akufo-Addo, and Dr. Bawumia de Ghana dru ye. Na se Nyankopon adom aboa, agi Ghana. Na se Ghana anko military regime. Na yeda so akuta ye democracy. Na still, wo said di, mi so betime ye MPP ni eno de wo bi ntimi sisa sa de ni mfiri wo honom. But say still what does so a defend the President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia? Seriously, what do you more ha papa? What do you more from papa? Jimine bunkam de afa woni peduaso. I just say, would ye Jimine de a bunkam pa de afa woni peduaso. Na muka yankwa fanko to aba yankwa fanko to aba ne yankwa fanko to aba. MPP supporter, MPP member. Me sa wo se mu wo enkrofo mekwa akoto aba no a mu wo arehemu e wo enkrofo na 7 December o mekwa akoto aba no a ballot papers presidential ballot papers no a o mu twa ye no a wo mu spread ye across the country no wo mu de kwa akoye dey a simple question asem bi sa wie mu misa mu mpanimfo no mu ankasa mu mpanimfo no se wo mu ji wo mu hudi said ye mani abre no amona mo ka se wo mo gi wo mu hudi so mo be ye adwuma Ghana ye challenges ni ye bibia solution ye free senior high school se mo mpanimfo ni gi wo mu hudi se stem no wo mo siye agenda 111 wo ma to apete the whole Ghana economy no e robust bibia ya mo misa mo mpanimfo ne se no mo gi wo mu hudi se Ghana fo ebe she wo mani munyam a ballot papers no a presidential na o mu twa ye no a all the 16 regions wo mo de call ye na wo mo de kwa kopo mu ni ana wo mo se mo misa mo mpanifo no question we Ashanti region Joseph Yamini team o mo kwato edan ya ne ahye ballot papers in boxes ya hye ye egu hono mo across the country ye ballot papers, presidential ballot papers, parliamentary ballot papers. Ya tom print, good ballot boxes mu ye share demo. Ya nanka omu person omu di eco collection centers. So what it means is say mwanka samu party leadership no ehun say they've messed up big time. Mwanka samu leadership no amuti opposition na mu defend womu no. They know. They came to realization said no, you are messing up big time. So the only way out ebe boye eni sabano ye be wiem and you know before 7 December no na ballot papers no omo di kan ebra kwa yesi kra start ye say one printed ballot papers both parliamentary and presidential kwano na electoral commission any MPP aka konaive aka bomu a wo madi ka akwa print wo ballot papers kra e de akwa across the country. National security for na de call ye. National security for na de call. Omo ye mpanifo na directly no. Wo ma benefit ye na hu say they messed up. Omo hu so ma destroy man. Omo hu so ma sell man. Omo hu so ma be gibi wo mo ho. But wo no a wo wote wo no e na wo kwa defend no. Enti se opani bi kasa na wani age. Ofa ke mi hu wo me social media isu ache papa. Mi hu ana still na wo da so awom. Eye yo no fa ke hu nwie ho. Wo da so awom, wo da so eye enti mi hu ka wampa ka unam ha na wudi atem na anam ha na wo tuma na all the way na all the way. Ana ofa ke still na untimi recover yo ho. Bra betie nsempa. This is the time I sit your leadership down. Na mun kanya sasem nkyira wo mo. Na munya isa obi convertia. Na sa Afenyo Markins be ye majority leader. What happened in parliament? Buga ekosi sei. Edi ade ne kokosi ye. Mu ministers ekokosi sei. Mu MPs ekokosi sei. Enye NDC na MPs no omanya bunkam dia faso no mu chemu bia enka a political party like MPP ebekwa election after 8 years in power now what me are dropping from 137 to 73. What your party ni supporter and how the how was to say Ghana ha nyina say ye be set agenda ni ya kagum ni edintro gudwa mahama so ni aka nkwase asema guandisi abai so ye be ma ba na ye unpopular ye be ye bia ye be ma ba na ye unpopular na kwan bia so ye timi aba power. I'm telling MPP supporters say me na na ma metia no me I don't support the idea say NDC ebe tuna so ache okwa 4 years ko 8 years na se wo madwuma ye na se Ghana for so mo pano mo breki eto mo breki but se omo mess up na se Ghana for. But let me tell you people say the MPP ayedo se man transfer my aggression mo anger mo madness and come party leadership so I'm telling you that's a side agenda when I'm mo bebo mo be ye dede mo be hadwo mahama and you mo forget to opposition there mo betina ho no mo ache papa because gone are the days so 2012 2013 2015 2016 na say enipa bebre jimi wo Ghana ha no no a ye allow ye ho e ma mu tumfu trade gu ye ni so no it is not going to happen again. 2015 2016 na entro na mdu ya bebom Manasa Zuri Ford Explorer no dia bebom na ye he ni e ka ni e sosro no this time around no makachire MPP for say ejimi for na ye di machi 2016 no after 7 December no mu say ejimi for na kakakra bi aka 38% pe na ye dia bebom Bas branding na ye he na wo number bia na Bas branding na how much was involved in Bas branding scandal? How much was involved our Bas branding mu na ye he na number bia and you say Bas branding and a Bas branding na ya set charge ni pa no kwase unrefunded sika no eno ni ya memuo and no near kase will fight against corruption because as a president no presidents ni who say and niema we say no emwa wo man no and na se ne tie bia president Mahama Abenu wo benya nipa ba ko mienu bia wo mo de wo mo nso no wo mo de wo mo kwasa se bebetwintwa wakwam but as a leader na wo gina ne na so Bas branding ni asa charge muntua starting from President Mills Youth Employment Agency ni a charging crofo I know me boss cry charging no mu tua sika sa ayiya ya ka say onye laptop bi a hu nsensem kokozi eno omu nyina charge wo mu ene ko wi akira abuga pele ne Philip exhibit ono ko exhibit anase exhibit o se wa omo ko ye jeli omo ko mu enu ne yade dwene wo man sa dede no amu ye 2015 2016 NPP fo na me ka kire mo se ye tolerate mu biem professors ya no omudi mo chi nyina no almost 90% womani abia womani ate enti na me ka se ejimifo bebrenu a muhu wa mu 2016 2015 2016 a wo mu tudi mo achi no ejimifo na ka 38%. Na sa 38% no we are not going to sit aloof say ba betena se ne ya hwemo se mo ba be ye dede aba be distracting the attention wo Ghana ha say na me ka kire MPP for so say mo dia sam mu no mo ma mu bunfu sa media houses no a na wo mo tete radio station TV station e bon kwase defense e de mamo no o mo na mu follow wo mo na mu free se mo awi ni awie na mu free se ma ban e ye ne ma papa de ma Ghana ba bia wo be kwa akotie nsempa no wo nko na nko nkotie no wa hold you one kasa we leaders no ma hold you one accountable ade achia anopa ebo ayi nanya na utie ayi kwaku ba ko no mo ne kwame sifaka no mo a contract e o ma gigenya sem ketua sika wo mo nya de da board so wo mo na utie wo mo ya ban ne bidding aban na agenda ya set agenda ne de ama wo mo se ye nyina akoro no na ya bo no mo ye beneficiaries enti mu ntira ha na mu defend eno na utie ade achia no kwakwoti o ma na FM wo your friend say Canada Japan onu ni station no adwuma ode ye ma MPP defense en wode bo na wutie enti de ekoso wa ba mu no onte se omu di sebe nkwase asem onte se omu bokro no onte se omu se wo man no onte se free senior school policy no mo de ba ye no eye kro no mo de bo enkura na aduane de enye because ade achia no betia ye defense party communicators and I will follow one more kasa kese and ya to turn your dear party communicators. Omo da payroll so monthly unim sika wa mo je. Unim contract ya dear mema wo mo. Omo na wo follow wo mo. And I will follow woman or party akwa opposition. And our party akwa opposition no when you so entity unti the oppressor we ya na say. Ye be ma do mahama ye unpopular. One thing say matise na no obi ka say ya see before we JFK ever journey Baumia campaign team. Media me say yes so what just $5 million. Unya say what just say because JFK no ko fo no enkrofo mu kasa mu chairman Stephen team mu nyina no mo yakofo no enkrofo Alan enkrofo but wo mu nyina de ko wie say because of contract ni sika mo gigi yenti kokko wie akire no mo nyina di Baumia chi shawo party tradition Shawo party tradition. Me na makwabna bo bi ansa Accra FM ha say na adwuma ya rescue Ghana no. Se ya betena ha no mo na se obi ye minister e wo president Mahama aban emu. Na te say de sisi brother pa de si ye. Ni akwa minister bi ne dem. Wa hye millions of Ghana cedis. Wa hye millions of dollars na account mu sika buburu ya. Na ba betena say na me defend ya. Me mwa wo party. Wo party ni me mwa. Wa ban ni me mwa. Me mwa na makwa sika na me ba be defend knowing very well say enu na ekum wo man no enu na e destroy wo man enu na MPP supporters na mu follow enu na mo ye say what ya no na wo ye show na wo ka ba sisi brother pa na MPP grassroots for full soldiers for no wo mu di watem say me betena ha sei na eniema wodo bi a ekoso wo MPP NDC abaye mu no minister bi akwa sika minister bi afa sei minister bi aye sei kwakwa ye agenda 111 sika no wafa Kwakwaya one village, one dam. The minister, how a kumsin? What you think at ta? What can 250,000 Ghana cedis? What that dam obey? Diana, let's have a tell me defending how a kumsin. Now say minister called your Mahama Memwa me catch that was say, we'll end this in a within. We are not helping you people. Na yam wow, na ya pesa wo party no equal opposition. Ya pesa wo party no useless. Your percent party no and mess the whole country up or mess Ghana up or say Ghana we are now so party say Ghana we are party better so no what's in power MPP party what tradition share president ko for 7-8 years we ne vice president and I say MPP for me enlighten because they mu Ghana ha mo ye ni social media so mo ye na ya ma hometi say enti ni penti mi management mu bie eni panya jimi won sua nyansa president ko for 7-8 years president ko for 7-8 years we no yenya ni passe baako 17 and assignment no chairman general said you can say akronfo tetu amadu edu nsom enipa baako 18 17 and sorry yeah say we mo pedis presidential on person mu lead MPP na president Kufuor vice president Alhaji Aliu Mahama may he so rest in peace na oka hu bi na president Kufuor enua adokofuor eka hu ebi na alanchirematen ya Ghana fo ne MPP fo mu ye de ye nim se alanchirematen eye president Kufuor darling boy ada na president Kufuor anka se kwan bia so ala na wo pe no entu o impose alanchirematen e wo MPP fo so ada na president Kufuor anka se Alhaji Aliu Mahama eye me vice president entu de me pani entu me impose Alhaji Aliu Mahama e wo MPP fo so ada na president Kufuor anka se adokofuor eye ni nua enti MPP for po wo mu po wo impose Dr. Adokofuor e wo MPP for so wanya sa oso obi anko prinity e da no kura dru ya kura no asamre no election day na omo to aba no kura no president Kufuor did not even cast his vote one to aba oso obi an prinity and I don't think that time no na aspirant 17 penny for 17 no a wo mu pre wo mu to lead MPP party no obi wo sikasha Alhaji Aliu Mahama da menya sure say na obi e wo that contest ni mu a those candidates no menya sure say na obi e wo mu a no wo sika esne Alhaji Aliu Mahama da but president Kufuor say this is the party's tradition say ne run say ne kono obi ankono nkonko prinity fair play obi ankono nkonko prinity adia president Kufuor eye no so that was it 2007 yo mo kokoyi wo mo presidential candidate ene ye kwoto aba kikiri de kosi ense na Akufo-Addo ena ebebe lead mu party no eye fair play ene mo kwa mo kokoye said that and vice president Alhaji Aliu Mahama e wo sika ene o ka so obetuatua sika ene o tua sika eto mo party delegate adwen ke bia ko lead party no and so be lead party no na bia part your friend say grassroots for no empe no say president Kufuor edwane 8 years wie ye and I was say Alan Kwade nanka mo anka sanka mo pe no and was me nua Dr. Adokofuor me impose no ye tua sika delegate say na kwa na electoral college mo expand no say they say my yanui na sa brand nya sa na netie modi akwa du police station Kufuor to be enya sa na netie say president Kufuor ya no si to me the power no the papa to say war metwa 8 years ye no family property monarchy abusua konwa enti ne minua sika ya ba benyan menfam pie minua eno no so mu delegate no otam 50,000 no atam 100,000 ena president Kufuor ema ni nua ebe lead party na enka be yemode enka enya mode ba matina Ghana ha sei ama president Akufo-Addo I impose Dr. Bawumia ewo mo so se fair play contest ena MPP course no a ke bia Dr. Bawumia obeto so be 4 because Alan Chamatin ko betu Dr. Bawumia Canada pon ko betu Dr. Bawumia ka bia Bawumia baba be 3 na 4 esa se obi a oye vice president ewa ba mu 8 years a wa mess up the economy obia can be bia di tia no Dr. Bawumia won sam a wo kanya na ade ya adwuma we didn't even MPP Kufuor struggle and Kufuor hunu no senka MPP contest said dear president Kufuor ye no obia nko prinity o win nearly the party even though 2024 election kan mu be lose and so nka Dr. Obia obedi be third second crank wama alanchire Martin betu no kana Japan betu no nanko we chire baby but sika ya tam kwabrane MPC na womu ni ala womu di alanchire Martin echi ya womu ni Dr. Bawumia echi no ya wagana ha ya tisika womu nyina agegeye ye wo Ghana ha ye tisika poduo ya mo ankasa mo MPs ye mo represent mo no wo mo gye ye tam 200,000 Ghana cedis ye tam 500,000 Ghana cedis ni ye tam 50,000 Ghana cedis ye say delegate wo mo diaspora ni ye kukuru sika ni ye de ama wo mo ni ye kukuru sika ni ye de ma wo mo ni ye kukuru sika ni all because of Bawumia's bidding and Bawumia overshadow ada your friend is saying candidate nyina eno no we ye MPP supporter Jimmy Kakrentino we hu senye because ya se Bawumia de na ka kira mu se oh Alan ba wo nwini kare Japo ba wo nwini Bawumia de oye na nado nipa enti Bawumia na kwan bia so eno de wo ba de wo betimi awini de amaye eni e kandi tu wutiri mu saa pa ite be hwe mi Facebook ni ma ena mudi akire mu so mu ni mu pa se ba NDC for so tiache do no mu pa yo mu ban se Bawumia beba because o mu se Bawumia de ye cool chop NDC for pa ibo nyina Bawumia Alan Baya Alan ankasa kura nim se nko Baya enka President Mahama be biti no enso nkan konko yesa enimguase kese we se no a MPP ensa aka no but because of say mo chairman Stephen Team afei party chairman kwa onte so wakasa party secretary kra wonte parties they were Ghana hana mo party secretary beka ya say mu nya reshuffle ministerial reshuffle ya wa Ghana ha JFK ebetwe so otwe so ya press or ya de benyo say mu nya reshuffle JFK beka say mu nya reshuffle no ekokosi sen de ekosi nya say JFK no ya friend no ya say masa ja nkwase asem na keka na kawa no tum kwase asem na JFK wo friend say keka no jai kan na kawa no tum. I know this lady on Facebook or ya me Facebook friend Honorable Primeni. And then later me who Honorable Primeni apost say for some reasons he say there or in support ama Dr. Bawumia or JFK ni papa na wo mu nyina wan kwafo mo support wo mo ba ya chire mu nyina mo nsa di gumachi ene eje Bawumia adeso na de be soam mu nso mu nimu say Bawumia President Kufuor arrender useless in any case mu misa mo party for mpanimfo se President Kufuor e wadwen papa se obema Bawumia e lead party no adenti na wa ma Dr. Bawumia anya adwuma no je Dr. Bawumia adwuma e de e mark no foriata o render Dr. Bawumia useless. Okay, Hannah Tetana Nado wanted someone he could remote control. Okay, what the young friend said, and Kufuor the Gabi watch the course and Tibet to Muno. Omo pe obi omo be control no. It is when you say or the Bawumia beba e waja padiemu say after another 8 years omo the Bawumia neba. And then tina that exposure one farmer Bawumia. Na but the Bawumia betimi aye wanye. Now render Bawumia office ni useless or render Bawumia useless. Ama Bawumia nya adwuma. Na keno for reata no je Bawumia position de man no ya no wo ye ade na Dr. Bawumia ye nyina dan se Nyankopon hu ni mobo no wonte no sufrɛ na nko wontimi wi ni Nyankopon pangu no fa me redeem ni image enipa na akwa contest no wo pese wo control no se TV remote no se enipa no e ka kira wo se e-levy won pe ono onfo e-levy so na wakwa introduce e-levy because ono kwa de na sem kwa de oka mo fa ne se enframa bi e bo haban who is Bawumia sana mo fa no enipa ne ka betting tax obetwam waban mu mani abre he mo MPP supporters de me say mo wo anga mo bu na afuo no enya dwembone na wo se wo mutirim sa abufuo no mo gi bum na ka mo ko mo party mo national executives so muji boom nanka mo regional executives nanka mo ko wo mo so muji boom nanka mo ko na Kufuor so muji boom nanka mo MPs nanka mo ko wo mo so nanka mo ministers nanka mo ko wo mo so mo ntina opposition na mo fa adwembone emamu ntina Ghana ha because you allow mo of a K worry yen allow Emma Sanyama no entonko so entwa so e wo Ghana ha say da ye ni abre 8 years ma destroy Ghana 8 years Ghana say 8 years ni ya bre papa Nyankopon aduma boa ama could be and see na se Ghana da so gina Ghana. We are not going to sit down and allow Muna those riffraffs Muba Bemuna Mudia go opposition no na mo medin sem hu bia wo Ghana ha sei said ye mokra mo wa Bemuna ye nsuo hwe ye gina mu fight ye no. We will continue to fight for Ghana for good governance, for our democracy. Munko President Akufo-Addo ene na busuafo na mo da mo anga na aggression na ma so aggressive no a mani abre no mo mfa mani nkyira ho no mo, because President Akufo-Addo did not only destroyed Ghana, our country, did not only collapse our beloved country. Mwankasa mu party na ema mu power no esen kro no nti no o ma sa destroy mu party di aka ho. She owra enu ahwe eniema ye hu ye wa ha. She eniema ofri sa mahama ho no mu eyi na o ma ye no se overpass o se buy eyi ho no no ofri flower pot ona wo ba airport land nie me twem won ma medru won mo na prisoners yi won mo go prison si won ntade blue na won mo do ho land na eda that big land na eda ho no no o ma lutu ni nyina state assets o manager padie nyina da 8 years o ma fa ni nyina how the how one say adenti na wo opposition because Ghana ya modia enti nu kwa say MPP wo opposition. And now Akufo-Addo starting from opposition and was starting some party MPP no or Mercy party ni up. Penny ben ene wo mu ene ya President Mahama ya president. Odi obuni ani dey sefata e the man party leadership, because without the party and then the leadership no he can never be a president. Ministers now bobo mudi no you think say eye solely eye ono nko a the decision party ni mpanimfo wo ho party no ahoa mu totobi kwa achenom ono mo jose sedu nketiam sam mpanimfo fo so mpofo no wo ho unless say o ma approve sam payepe na betodwa na wa convert in parliament. Esa say enam political party enam party ni tradition party ni leadership and adibedi president party no na ama wa ye president. But before President Akufo-Addo ever be your president kra no na mo party no wagu from opposition. Hagia fati kuta praye en wode pra Kwabena Japan mu achi ewo party headquarters praye en wode pra ena mutugu wo so na mo bu wo mo pa afoko ni apam no na mu bose so wo ma ye hindrance. Kwabena Japan na mu bose o ma ye hindrance. Sami crab na mu bose because eniema na Akufo-Addo eye no na emfa na kwam, and then sankofo we na party no o mo ye leaders no ehun said o mo jai party de man na Akufo-Addo a time, a year, a day will come obe collapse NPP or the animguasa na beba MPP enye na happen ye men komenim men komenim na men to aso enti me come na sinema ka kire mo se sa adwinfi na wo mutima mo de akotere opposition no adwinfi na wo mutima mo de akotere opposition no munyi mfiri mutirim because ye be face mu wo Ghana ha me nko Facebook na me read ayi ba kakra me wie no masaba ene adwuma no so President Mahama mutu opposition hwe President Mahama ba ye di say ene wadru boko one heads of security services no agencies no nyina hia o wie ya pa wadru boko Otieku Dennis, Osi please say it loud. Vivian Paul was 100%. Kansin Francis, Osi please, okay, and also, and Enotre, Osi Ora will give those foolish blessed son, Osi 2 p.m. Asante Mampon, and also Ajoni and Newie. And Ken Foster Network. or Spinters Kotobabi. And one more Spinters from Spinters Kotobabi. Okay. I cry from Mobile Tele Edamase. Enoche Duncan Williams says the with JM. Wish JM well. It shall be well with you. Okay. Yate. Kingsley Kojo adjoining me. Prince Sadat adjoining me. Vivi Paul Jinem. Nyawa Anthony or Sinana ma keep the fire burning. He said yeah time kwa rescue Ghana yensro. Nanya say yetimi rescue Ghana wi. Obi antimi nyo bibia foko Ghana. Francis K Damapo onunsunie. Amu akwa Henry onunsunie o se aguna dunkwa e na ode adjoin me awie Sky Power. Onunsu ejiremu awie ha. Johnny for Johnny Germany for what to say? Ya chiamu awie. Anatete nie on service mark nie ena Saidu Muhammad Nsunie Prince Kujo Ofosuware Nsunie also of K Ware ena Winfred Agbele onunsu enie. Okay, min komra unim ene me throw challenge way Ediama MPP for because for 8 years NDC in opposition they were consistent. Kwame bema eyini nkoso mama na mehwene asi 8 years in opposition NDC for always no more consistent. MPP for say mu opposition na mu wo no momra me kire de mudi ja Ghana modie momra ma kire de mudi ja Ghana si e ja Ghana we ye ja Ghana momra ma kire ye President Akufo-Addo kogina so na se e ka kire Ghana for say economy ni gina ne na so economy na ye yie and 2 days and IMF International Monetary Fund e de ba ye say the whole Africa open amanya wa mudi wa mukapa Ghana to su 2 after their president Akufo-Addo kogina parliament ya wakaye no so before then kwana ne finance minister enso kura kan bi say economy ni there oh am fix eye na I just say President Akufo-Addo Dr. Bawumia former President Akufo-Addo ne Dr. Bawumia we dey mean use US for kwado mo nka former president we dey me fama no o say o mine na Akufo-Addo ne Dr. Bawumia I just say wo mo nkoa na o mo do mpeso mo kire say eye data no kire say Ghana ye Ghana sika semu ye Ghana economy ye Ghana school ye free senior school ye papa bibia ye but the reality they don't want to face and then accept the reality. Ordinary Ghanaians say this is the situation that I find myself. The audio about to me suani but obetcha will say data no so kire say the owo no nie economy ni ye robust economy ni ye but the reality on grounds now affecting nipa no no man power ne ba power ne de he doesn't want to accept it. Into ojina so na say na wo kokko ojina so na state of the nations address na wo ka kire Ghana for say oh Ghana economy ni ye and then in less than a week na IMF for aba oboa the whole African countries no oh pe Africa or say Africa wanka West Africa or say Africa wo pe wo manya omude ye kapa obunkam dia fa wo mo so a omuntimi ntua Ghana to so mienu. But this is the case. President Akufo-Addo sana 8 years waye onunu no hona wo sere na MPP supporters edi akire onunu no hona wo sere na wo mo ye lectures na communicators at radio so at TV so no mununu wo mo sere na wo mo ye dede na wo mo supporters ani age abane de ye wini awie abane de wini awie wo mo amwa mo NDC co-opposition 8 years. President Mahama say na sasa we see American mutual challenge e dey ama MPP for some mo make kire Ghana for the mudi eja 8 years. President Mahama ne NDC MPs no mo communicators na omo ye consistent yes asem no omo kawe no abe kawe emergency power ya omo ja ye 800 megawatts MPP for mo make sure the mudi jaye emergency power 2017 mo beto ye 800 megawatts. MPP mo wo opposition mo ma me kan kire ye because sa data ya me be burusu no 8 years ni ya kan ya burusu aka enti pese MPP for so yes abi omo ye atoabo gas atoabo processing plant $1 billion. MPP ede na mudi ja Ghana mo beto Millennium Challenge Compact sika na wo mu $547 million. President John Dramani Mahama or the finance minister can set up foreign affairs minister sabre no Madam Hannah Tete and omoko USA and at this compact this agreement omoko sign ye America buy say or my $547 million. Ni even right energy sector nim na enkania how yentimi enfa ensolve na Africa ha say no Ghana emeye the most efficient in Africa by the energy sector. Ghana nyina ne naso na enkania ne yemu nkamfa so na ye neighboring countries no wo ma supply wo power energy no yenton bi mfama wo mo $547 million. President Mahama edija MPP for because na your privatization the agreement in terms and conditions and wo mu say and yes o mo de ma ECG nemu no yema ankwankwa adwuma mramu and so for the 8 years in opposition no and this eka ya mo beti PDS eno na ho mo beto International Monetary Fund President Mahama kwa IMF ni sika okokonya aye no mo beto mu $450 million. $450 million and am buy na bebeto ye mo so makwa IMF say na mu jaye mo de data de ehia mo pant mo de mo na me kan kire Ghana fo President Mahama 2017 ordinate ja MPP fo e wo bra cocoa sector na ye 960,000 metric tons 960,000 cocoa ani ye ton season na ye nya e wo Ghana ha e ton e wo international market eje hu syndicated loan na Ghana e ye 960,000 metric tons say na Akufo-Addo Dr. Bawumia MPP for say na mudi eja Ghana 2025 mo handi over edema President Mahama no cocoa sector no say na adru the last time I checked now from 960,000 metric tons no about 350,000 metric tons. The state of cocoa sector no the adru no 2017 mo beto 960,000 metric tons cocoa season the na export e de kono e kwaji hu loan e de be infrastructure cocoa communities wo mu rose e tutu nsuo no ye na ma de mem wo scholarship e mem wo mu bonuses e mem wo mu free fertilizer. After 8 years amuko opposition no MPP for mo ma ye this data no na se NDC for nso fra ase se wo mu di nsebunu a ye gina mo de no so ye de abowo mo sobo from 960,000 metric tons no a drop it about 350,000 metric tons annually. Na cocoa sector cocoa board Dr. Stephen Opuni mudi ni cocoa standard trial se wa ba koro no afi bia be kwa wiye no na o generate profit emfaso e de magana cocoa board cocoa bond mu e ka na damu no na ye 1.5 billion Ghana cedis according to NDC 8 years in opposition no do omo ka kire Ghana fo no se cocoa sector cocoa board cocoa bond e ka no omo de e ye 1.5 billion Ghana cedis. The last time I checked na under President Akufo-Addo e ka 1.5 billion cocoa bond no e drew 13 billion Ghana cedis. From 1.5 billion Ghana cedis to 13 billion Ghana cedis. In the President Mahama said MPP for ojamo 1.5 billion cocoa bond eka say ana mudi agya Ghana fo momra me kan kire Ghana fo ni yehunu de mudi agya ye de mudi agya Ghana fo afei President Mahama any NDC fo in opposition 8 years eka kire Ghana fo say stabilization fund MPP are buying in 2017 more about $277 million US dollars. It was stabilization fund mu. And now for Dr. Bawumia, Finance Minister, MPP communicators. Stabilization fund no send them. Ya Mudija President Mahama, any Ghana for. Because before mo be start some more criticize mo kan kwase asem dia fa President Mahama ban wo no e wo so mo be ka kire ye say stabilization fund sika say na mu gya wo mu President Mahama 2017 wo gya $277 million. Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund seed money sika na dem no na ye $270 million US dollars. MPP for ya monti asese mu ko opposition no mummi se mo mpanimfo say na akufo na ban na memo ba wieye on the 6th January 2025 enti mu ko opposition no Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund no mo ba $270 million US dollars say na mu ko opposition mo agya wo mu opposition na mo kon say na mo agya wo mu sinking fund account President Mahama said 2017 more to $200 million US dollars. $200 million US dollars our sinking fund mu data ya mudieja Ghana mudieja President Mahama MPP for MPP aban MPP no opposition say and a sinking fund say na akem mo be $200 million US dollars say and akem mon kan kire Ghana fo mo ba ye ebebe to esla sika na wa esla mu annually ni enya 3 billion esla energy sector levy 3 billion afi biye sika ni ebenya no esla MPP mo wo opposition mo me kire Ghana for say esla ne de mo de yeye say na esla edem that levy no ye say ne be ya energy no legacy debt ye da ho from a champion eba beti President Rollins so eba beti President Kufuor so eba si President Mahama Mills so eba si President Mahama so no ye esla de to ho say energy sector e ka e da ho ne de eba no ye mmoa no ne emfantua esla no say na munya e de na mo de esla ye na wanyi na akire no munim oman bu munim amamu bu enti munni that 2 minutes that mandate that power some be criticize NDC aban mu enu kwase munya no mumra me kan kire ye say oh esle mu kwasika say na dem energy power emergency power ya mujaye from 800 megawatts no say no oman economy na expand enti from 800 megawatts no moja 2000 megawatts mumra me kan kire ye sinking fund over $200 million na dem no mumra me kan kire Ghana for say sinking fund no 2015 mo kwa no de adam woni mumra kan kire Ghana for say stabilization fund from $270 million no mo kwa 2025 de adam woni mumra kan kire Ghana for say da 7 January ya President Mahama swearing in MPP for na omuni made omutwetwa $1 at $1 about 14 cedis 60 pesos now we move post to okwa black market it was around 15 point something. In any case 2017 na Akufo-Addo eteki $1 4 cedis enti mu dia mun list mu ma ye sad data we because Ghana no is about economy stop it me borrow President Mahama West everything every sector agrek is about economy education, economy, health, economy, every sector be a economy. Because say usika samono enyina so a bibia be ye bian ebe floppy. And we make country Ghana say 2025 7 January. Sa robust economy no amusimu dija NDC no. This is the state of Ghana's economy. Muja way. Anya sa dia, sa amemo fontantan way, sa aban fu way, bad experience, bad governance. The Ghana for from 8 years ni no. And nkwa tietie self nkwa tietie fia pokua nom kwa me sifa kan nom wo man FM nom wontumi fo gimi no ade atwa mu gimi wo TV ni radio so no na eme criticize President John Dramani Mahama. Yeni abiro because ya bre 8 years ni ya brankasa ya bre Ghana su Ghana brankasa 7 January sorry in a course so me tifia me bo mani se na mi su me share Burkina Faso co-leader Ibrahim Traoré so no the Traoré so the hwan me share no yekro masantifo de R ne L problem say me can be amomfa me share Ibrahim Traoré momfa R no so ma me why befuo ne knafo no ye de an me ye da ye ma na me hwe cool leader asojafo atwa ne ho ahia in the midst of baby oteno African heads of states anabrofo no bi kura ka no ho wonu nkwa asojafo ni bi gina na chi e bi gina ne side and side hwe asojafo egu nanim onu nkwa ne ka bebesi ye no sojafo atwa ka ne ho ahia ultimi pinchen bana event na oba no kura wosuro because anything can happen to him at any time. Yabo president bidia okwa wone ne yire ne ba ya one ne yire ne eko na bia ne pani ba ko bi gina na chi Paul Kagame ti wei won hye ne ho wo hye ne African shirt kama ahye ne truck kama Nigeria ye krom ye president Olumayi Tinubu wa fa ne ho kama simple but hwe cool leader wa hye no wa etuo bo ne ho nkofo atwa ne ho ahya etuo enti me wianam sie Nyankopon ni Ghana di ni yo Nyankopon di Ghana ho afofie enti kade e ba be hu wo Ghana ni because of a memo fo tantan enti kade e ba be hu wo Ghana ni Tina President Mahama Kasaye during that time ne say cool enye alternative ya wa challenges mu ba cool enye solution Misha Ibrahim tra na mo de ana so ma me why Traoré say me hwe no na me hwe young guy so onya 40 years impo asojafo atwa ne ho ahia apomapomatuo edi na chie na wonu ankasa nam nipa mu ono kwa onye comfortable wonu ankasa mu kwa na onye comfortable afena mitwo miti TV ho me nipa ne do so manko bi na ni suo se ya me se hey na cha se nkenye Nyankopon a enka de Ghana nke ba bedru ni Burkina Faso kwa do mu so mu nipa ye papa na ekokonya de adwumboni woni tiri mu so anka ebe ye den so eti me catch MPP for say munya ye president Mahama mano munya ye president Mahama maye no wonyi onsiesie wo man resetting the country one resetting Ghana fama ye because 8 years ni obi age $1 edru ekoye akodu 20 cedis aba bedu 15 cedis a na we criticize president Mahama or fixi dum so man kanea no yenya in excess. It's just a matter of say yeah djuma na ya ton bi dia ma neighboring countries omu hia bi na better no akọ west na ka say in excess e boye ka say wo president 8 years a destroy Ghana omu ni mamemuo NPP eni mamemuo 8 years no wa destroy wo man no a the audacity say we MPP ni ade a chia obekọ radio so na ba kwa criticizing school feeding and na me ba mahu social media so hey gari na nkurani dio enwane bere na nkurani die gari ye far better than emu a spy gari eni mako ye di nwagu so na wunya pe a eye far better esen e mo a expire wo be dia rashes betie adware wo enko president Mahama so ene wo koboko nti se ya mumisa mo mpanimfo se PDS nsika o mo je ye ne wai MPP fo sika o mo je ye no PDS e wai kronu nti 190 million US dollars ya de be share energy sector me bo Ghana kronu nti 547 million dollars e bo Ghana na se mo president Akufo-Addo ne mo Dr. Bawumia no wo man ntimi amekire Ghana fo se economy no mo se robust no se netie e ka se ne da ho se netie e ka 120 billion e ka na twem over 700 billion hey MPP for mama mu bunfu mu mpani fo ate no mo ya bro omo ya wicked ankasa awa Muhammad ye steady munye steady mu ma awa mu confuse mu I'm telling you mu Allah mu ho e mo mu confuse ni e mo mpa ye se Ghana ni ma be ye okay Osabis Mark or sister Nanama, God bless you. Daniel say or see NDC pa just look at Ibi Bright and how she has suffered. Okay. And only Ibi Bright the asem no ho. Our court. Patience Ofori. Or see it's only fools. Well, hey, yeah, fools munyi criticize JDM. Okay. Abe could draft or say I also cried pa osui misuyo mi to se na misu sa mi hwe Independence Square nia e koso no a afena mi to am na nisuo wuro mi se ya mi nyame aye bi nyame ne Ghana di ne yi President John Mahama 7th December just otena akonwa so frɛ adwuma se 1 week nie 1 week on tenase 1 week onaye after see elected no okọ Nigeria na mo no mo fi se kwa na okọ na gwana no wodi no ni ma agenda wo ma set de ato wo no mo se wankeka no ho awurawura a negotiate a o ma bo pofie tu amana de ato nanim enti mo MPP for na mo fi se President Mahama ba betena wo ma ye hwe han amadum so ato no na o ma tena opposition with their 38% no asa ye enkwase adeda aduani pesum wo Ghana ha sei ai wo matena opposition edo mo 38% no sa mo 38% no 38% no me ka kire mo fa medwa ya sum wo Ghana ha because animguasia no mo animguasia no ye too bad ye horrible hwe enu a ora akoye land da hono mu na land president Akufo so be fa bi President Mahama no president means 8 years 7 omo de omo ni mbira de ohun land da mu ko hwe dan ye ba enu ami hu ye da fama me so mfama me TikTok mu ko hwe dan ye Dr. Bawumia sidie si asase no so asase e da hono mu from yakato abresu asase e da hono mu ada ho mu obi abedi ku leader fo nyina baba be sin kwasase ne da ho enyansafo omo do omo so omo ye enyansafo ne bae no enasase ne na ho no mu biem omo fa sase ne nyina na wo party akọ opposition a onwene wo ma no ho wo party power bebent no wo ba be distracting ni attention wo Ghana ha sei onwene wo ma no ho o ma ni interest enye wa adwene first not your political party not your political colors. And I keep on saying, say the fact say we MPP ni a mo ahyenso de aye wo sono no aboa wo sono doesn't mean say o dwen say aboa wo sono dwen say nipa we ye human being we ye living things onya no living things okay so wo sono so ye living things wo mo di kan be je Ghana ne de omo de no omo de omo nya ni brefo sense ase na de hono mo sense ase na de hono mo no omo be lutu no omo ahye ni akwa twa asase e de ama government official minister deputy minister na assassin wato the $10,000 no akwato assassin $2 million na ade achia na wutie Peace FM na wutie Oman FM na wutie your friends afia pokua mo na omu defend na ya wude na wudi akire na ya catch us say your political witch hunting when you richer who will have that time to come and hunt you mumisa mum penifo ni hia mon kan jam say if you are not witch when the best and that journey say the person is coming to hunt you because we are witch and let's say we are witch we will hunt you down political the mo be kan bi amonka because me say MPP for penifo to me from no catch us say munya de na mon kan President Mahama say o meto foundation so obesi school we obesi hospital we obeye bibia ye nkrofo na di bone MPP for ye nkrofo no agbo wo man le kro no en 20 wo mu fom kotum and then obi betna ne kokosomic studio baby na ocho no aka ai obi antimi nchi obi ankonkotum the last time me hwe me wo me na mo na nkoto afia pokra me sister pani video bi ai enkofo ye gullible ye mra na ye adwuma obi timi ache hwan obi antimi nchi obi a na obi antimi obi na me sister like seriously obi antimi nchi obi a abana sase na da ho no no a enu ukoto ne $10,000 no $10,000 ena wunim omu isu third party onyu omu ankasa di no omu de aye ene yeso call lance commissioner asoja for na police fu egu ho no because a police for na asoja for no twom ho a boni omu di lance commission betwa jato me say NDC eye the least mistake President Mahama me say wo de opa he ene asoja for na police for na egu lance commission come twa jato lance on be lance commission Omaya ne kama na esi ya ha say sa no e wo no kombe Shillings Commission because of boni o madintin say ya Shillings Commission na ayi data kro ne document kro no wakwa no akwa na de abara be prosecute obi ne ya kase ha ayi witch hunting which one is witch hunting me ba ayi no so bat me ba President Mahama de no so sama ka kira wo Ora started President Mahama ne ba Adrian and Impra Alatani ne yesi odwane before election. Woni ne na yifo ne partners omodwane na se wanya bone anko da so te Ghana ha. Adrian and Impra no ya Alatani no a one no ambulances scandal no wadwane ko so wanya bone anko Ghana anko odwane akwa dai. Enti makachira wo say wo dia wo so ye party full soldier grassroots munya jimi no obi kokko atwa ufie ne da wa bebo kro no no kokko atwa tira ufie ne dwene wo ho enkodi na chi unless say directly u benefit ye wo mo amutie wo mo anopa wia ne anwumre e wo radio ne TV su no omo ye beneficiaries of Ghana ya hawo ya tete ya kom ya ho kire ya ka from 120 billion Ghana cedis to over 800 billion Ghana cedis no omo no amudi wo machi anopawia ne anwumra mutieti omo no omo ye beneficiaries sika over 1.2 trillion ya eba wo mani futu mu 8 years di no omo no omo ti radio ni TV ni here no omo defend aban no. Let me tell you something, the fact is say obi akwatena America obi akwatena UK doesn't mean say that's what defend or ye beneficiary enunti na nani abere enunti na wo mani abere 1.2 trillion 8 years. President Mahama enya 240 billion Ghana cedis ba who Ghana a transformation, massive infrastructure, unprecedented across the country, unprecedented. Enti tinasine bisa ho say President Mahama enenya 1.2 trillion 1.2 trillion and can Ghana to say Dubai. To me kasa labon li cantonment o ma ye ha say Europe no o mo kasa sika o man sika ba futo mo wi aye no o mo personal properties, state lands and o mo lutu and o mo de sisi apartment $80 and kogu o ma account um o be kwa nkratam o hu say wuntumi din yo third party obi no de na sha no na sade e chena wote say eslowusu ekokotwa na wudi akire unim oye minister communication unim boni a wadi wo ho maslock na maslock ma me de bi benya no ho time former Maslock boss maame no say NPP ajeli no NPP abanjeli no enu woni Ghana ha enti next one o ko ye Maslock mon kan kire maame no Maslock maame no okọ prime minister Olusu ya Alhaji Alu Mahama Bano Farouk Mahama wabone dai ba me na Lusu no it is your turn. It's going to be your turn. Maslock lady no ono so say we predecessor ya jeli no see ya jeli no enu woni Ghana ha enu wo so dwane because onso no ye be prosecute you Maslock krono a ma bo Maslock krono a ma bo Maslock e wono mo enya asem ketua obi ko parliamentary primacy a oto sika gu eche sika asif say ase a Bank of Ghana machines ni gu ni dem eni odi print sika we ye Maslock CEO we ye sika wa hefa Maslock ye me see document ya ye ba be ye pie wa Ghana se gofo be dwane enkofo ebe dwane de free Ghana se document ya ye ba be ye pie wa Ghana hanom no because ye allow mo after boni and no be the document Ghana Water Company Limited me ba me kwadwo ma afa the videos na ready on and no be the video ayi document bi ma me Ghana Water Company Limited she ade asi wo ho me ba me mbo so tew na me nto aso mfamfiri ho no na me nkomanim document enipa no ede ma me no oh e wa hefa mpo document ni kura wa hefa enipa no was ode ama oral document no ode ama oral Ghana Water Company Limited 2017 2018 21 mobile wana na ya board chairman enya afenyo Markins ena na ya board chairman Ghana Water Company adi mi entam na menya na me nkoje am so Ghana Water Company Limited okay document ni mba hold on mba sha eko sign agreement yeah was a company be a supply one pumps and money niema bi 2.4 million Ghana cedis 2.4 million Ghana cedis ewi akire no unim sika omuchi aye 14.8 million Ghana cedis oh document iwe document imrana okay na mimie okay so company na omo de sa contract no ema no ni enie San Babsco Limited okay me kwa me fa company ni nsie omo deal with pumps motors ne ne ma na be for mines and industries and a Ghana Water Company Limited a contract omo se omo supply ene ma bi enfama omo ene ma na omo supply enfama omo no enie mo ye de kra de menya kase ne meka okay sa agreement no Ghana Water Company Limited 28 agreement no also 2018 and so the money involved that agreement ni mu no whereas the purchase invited a tender for the supply and installation of transport pumps, control panel and additional items for Takoradi pump house at Inchaban Headworks, and has accepted a tender by the supplier for the supply and delivery of these goods and related services in the sum of okay and sika na ewomu no 2.4 million Ghana cedis but onim say 2.4 million Ghana cedis no manipulative figure no edu 14.8 million Ghana cedis yijin sorry yijin ba me the document be ma no wa post ni nyina and then installment kwa mo fa so a omu tua ni nyina wa ha payment ni nyina wa ha we omu de akoma oral she 2017 2018 and a Ghana Water Company Limited eko hu sa company we so omu supply wo mu eniema wo mu supply wo mu no chese transport pumps, control panel, any additional items and Takoradi pump house at Inchaban Headworks, no mo fa nya adwuma wo ho sika na wose Ghana tua na sika ni nyina 2.4 million Ghana cedis ba nim sika Ghana tua 14.8 million Ghana cedis ya inflated figures so enti wan wo ba bia Ghana sika na ekọ ni e de betting tax aba ni e de covid levy aba na ye wie covid levy ni e de betting tax aba ni e de e levy aba. The last time I meet here some your friend says Sam George about Ghana highways lady bia wo so wo ye adwuma e wo wo mayi nse wo mo ayi ni baako agencies ni baako aziload aha na wo kire se aziload lady no ekọ ho no no je say monthly as a quarterly no otiminya sika over 1 million Ghana cedis ebi otiminya anya base 2 million Ghana cedis but adada for no mo ho no 300,000 Ghana cedis 350,000 Ghana cedis 400,000 Ghana ebi okom otiminya 200,000 Ghana lady ni ba ho no no a onu otiminya 1.5 million Ghana cedis edema Ghana no ye yi nadi because ekwan yo mo fa so mo de bokro no lady na tuatua asa akwan no ezika na ebe ni nyina Eco State Coffers mu Ghana highways from was as road one no almost say almost say lady no e kwa yo mo fa so sika na e was ba wo account mu no e ma wo account mu no onu nko ade onu na kase yo man ba pa na oma as road that sector ba bi onu no hye no onu timinya 1.5 million Ghana cedis de Ghana ntie yi nedi eto mre du kono pese lady ni so omu pese o mu ku no ni akasa Ghana form pet taxi tua ye e levy afia pokua ti America etiem and come to America and yetia tax and Ghana phone tia tax and Ghana he muji bidia ya mon kama nuntum muji bidia ya mon kama nuntum Ghana phone pay tax na e levy ye tua ye no e ho nkontabuo se ne nya ye e dia no mo de ye betting tax e dia no mo nya e dia no mo de ye covid levy e dia no mo nya e dia no mo de ye ni etie mu kire Ghana for pay tax tua obi onu ye adwuma ya onu timinya 1.5 million Ghana cedis wachiatua kwa de ma wo man no ye yi na diso nkotire fie ye po obi oba betena ho no mu a ye ne ne bebo kro no enti se Dr. Kesa to forcing e ka kire Ghana for say obetwa yi levy mu a kwame yenko na ayi Afenyo Markins at the parliament say, who should betray you levy muno? Sikabana, Onyema baby and what they bay. Afenyo Markins, oh yeah, board chairman, Ghana Water Company Limited. Sika was your chair 2018. Edema this company almost supply him 2.4 million Ghana cedis. A year actually your chair 14.8 million Ghana cedis. Your church your quay Sika. You the young president Mahama. And no Koboko.
Thank you very much. There's not much to add. I think my brother, Honorable Mama Yarga, has explained everything that transpired in the room with my father, the Zugrana and Overlord of Boko. I just want to emphasize a bit of what he said. If you remember, I came here to seek the blessings of my father for the election. And God granted our heart's desire and I got elected. And so my first mission was to come and say thank you. Thank you very much. There's not much to add. I think my brother, Honorable Mama Yarga, has explained everything that transpired in the room with my father, the Zugurana and Overlord of Boko. I just want to emphasize a bit of what he said. If you remember, I came here to seek the blessings of my father for the election, and God granted our heart's desire and I got elected. And so my first mission was to come and say thank you to him. Again, during the campaign, I stated that if God granted our desire and I was elected president, bringing peace to Boko was going to be one of my #1 priorities. So today is exactly 1 week when I was sworn in at the Black Star Square. And it's my first major assignment outside Accra. And so I decided to come and assure you that we're going to work very hard to make sure that we bring peace back to Boko. I remember when I was president, Boko and surrounding areas were very peaceful and work was going on, people were going about their duties. It's sad that this situation has occurred again. And I know that for the last 3 years, you have not been able to sleep. You've been living under stress. And so the priority of our government will be to bring peace back to Boko so that everybody can go about his duties without fear of harassment. We want to assure you that we're putting in place the various appointments so that we can have ministers and other officials who are responsible for the security to take charge. And so within this week, we will do the appointments of the Minister of Defense, the Minister of Interior, the National Security Advisor, the National Security Coordinator, the BNI Director, and all the others. And when these appointments are made, I'm going to charge them to make Boko one of the #1 priorities that they attend and deal with. And so I'll appeal to you to exercise patience, exercise restraint, and to let you know that I am apprised of the issue. I'm going to deal with it, and I can assure you, have trust in myself and this administration that by the grace of God, peace is going to come back. Permanent peace is going to come back to Boko. And so as my younger brother said, from here we'll continue to Nalerigo to meet the Nairi too and deliver a message to him. We cannot live in a country where our people don't feel safe. Our people must feel safe to travel wherever they want at whatever time and not have people shooting at them. And so you can be sure that we'll deal with all these situations so that we all can have the peace that we need in order that our traditional areas can progress. So I thank you very much. May God richly bless you. My father reminded me about his request, and you all know what request that was. My assurance is we need peace to be established, because some of the processes that you must go through for what your hearts are desiring require that the area is peaceful. But you can be sure that I haven't forgotten about it, and I want to thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There's not much to add. I think my brother, Honorable Mama Yarga, has explained everything that transpired in the room with my father, the Zugurana and Overlord of Boko. I just want to emphasize a bit of what he said. If you remember, I came here to seek the blessings of my father for the election, and God granted our heart's desire, and I got elected. And so my first mission was to come and say thank you to him. Again, during the campaign, I stated that if God granted our desire and I was elected president, bringing peace to Boko was going to be one of my #1 priorities. So today is exactly 1 week when I was sworn in at the Black Star Square. And it's my first major assignment outside Accra. And so I decided to come and assure you that we're going to work very hard to make sure that we bring peace back to Boko. I remember when I was president, Boko and surrounding areas were very peaceful. And work was going on, people were going about their duties. It's sad that this situation has occurred again. And I know that for the last 3 years, you have not been able to sleep. You've been living under stress. And so the priority of our government will be to bring peace back to Boko so that everybody can go about his duties without fear of harassment.
Juma Nipa over the years, if indeed so be so here for reward, what is dinner?
Oh yeah.
You baby ametie. Number 2 car. I feel I make quite him wardrobe me matade a ne boarding. Me no ka say dinner crafina kwako heto ukosheto zido.
Because me call Prof Jane. Vice President ye bi on office here. Nenye dinner no Thanksgiving.
Whether Thanksgiving Vice President or President mu bi eno.
Say the wo kan ho to me call e kra nsuo kra ma no bi.
No. I feel
me kwatena ho sa we wo no de wo be di day wo mo ma.
Ko wardrobe mu go here to the fina to.
I don't say bro nya tade na mhye.
Ko here mpaboa na we shine. Wow horo car. Atwima mu se mu ye neat because who call presidential dinner. Now what to car frequenting a drive 45 minutes. No I could do crap baby papa ke kra na den. We are nantino ko inside.
I know the invite ne buy na ye.
Na me nka say nyo but dem pese me kire ne say me enema bi sa enka me coat.
Oh enka
and come head. Ne mo ye no. Omo ye sa de no. And also omunya adisuade bi free mu. When they were calling for people during coalition and MPP for any opposition for a person overturning Yamano, they didn't give people a accreditation to go to the polling station and collation center to defend the party. So I didn't know where they do so they are or restricting Crawford. I didn't know where they do so they are restricting Crawford. Then Crawford restrict them. Do one and people could even know them their contribution.
I shock self.
I know they are an infant to me. They may
this lady, no NDC is a Vivian jail.
Now the truth of the matter is say Kuma Wood 4. Kuma Wood 4. 2016 one Kumasi the one a year Juma MPP. And the MPP buy and omo promise o mo niama hudo bebre.
Okay.
Because Ebra Mahama wa be mo no. Mahama ye say oboa creative industry no. And tina Kuma Wood 4 ka ho. Mu hye no mu se bi o sini twafo ne sini yifo merafo no kwakrafo no bi kra ka akro mu ni bi. To ye say okay en kwakrafo no ma brand o cho mo ka. Ne mo mabru ne wo mu no. Wo de ka ne ma wa maslok ma o ka no a na watua ne kakran no de ma wo mo. And MPP used against them. And when MPP came to power, na akwakwa yese and mo na Mahama was our hair montino. Promises I would make Kuma would phone no man for fail. Kuma would nanka se gui. Ye this kama almost say yan fanko mo na mateda sante as a wine. Asari o mo aneka. Se odi sikano. Enti ema ekomo do mo ni bre afi open penyifon kwa hu mo. Ena jo mo su do mo ni bre. Dodo na do mo ntoma bebo NDC biano.
Okay.
But Kuma would fua yebeka se omo ye popularly and we ye known. Ti say Christiana Wuni. Ti say apapa ya na pampa mu apai.
Nana ya obi a wakasa te so oba no.
Ti say wa yosi. Ene sa na wo kana sem.
Sa group no.
Wo de ane Sylvester ba ko no so friend Sylvester. You can count them.
I say no for nyina ene wo one and nam.
Yes.
And then campaign mu nyina wo mu ginem.
Yes, as for Vivian Jill no activity.
They said one gina ni mu o.
Meba. Hu no ebia no ye no behind the scene na minim dia won say party adwuma de ebinim de no behind the scene.
We behind the scene there but edu scene there no.
Yes, the frontliners from Kumawood, I didn't see her. Hu no party event bia see America so ye adwuma. I didn't see her.
I shocked
but I cannot sit here and say ebia wanye bibia mo party no because party na so adwuma no so na so de meme nimu na meti ento omo a meme nimu no e na mabo omo die
okay
nti that is it but na menchia
but senkrofo ye behind the scene na wo mahu dia wo so a scene na kasa no wo mu
Bible cracker say
behind the scene wo mu recognize dia
Bible cracker say
scene front wo ye frontliners na kasa so no
Bible cracker say nana yenso ye kanea yenso kanea mfa nhye kodo ase
mfa nhye kodo ase
ye disi kanea adua no so se de be hire ama wo mu awu akiri nyina sumu ehunu na me se NDC fo anwene election we a nanka minim se NDC fo wa yonkofo ne sympathizers ne yes kan say followers sa na minim enra me bobi so ha ekofa akasa bebre na de baaye enti na me nkoho NDC anwene sa election we a na minim se empo ya wa henfo bebre wo honom apart from few henfo te se na do manima no mutimi ka no krekere kufua na minim after John Dramani Mahama ni NDC victory na mahu henfo bebre tum se na nsam hyenkrofo bo papa ene for the first time Abrante on friend Chris Wado omunyina kasa medical all of them are talking omo deal I do omo famu the previous government all of them are talking and tinano medical ko jina NDC platform so na or campaign no na obia amisa but medical once a time confess on MPP ni but oko perform ye no nobody raised issue but Stonebwoy di buy ye no go full raise issue and I think they have point though Stonebwoy enyina platform bia so and declare support for one political party or a year candidate even now election year gone MPP omo ye program bi ema serum omo ye youth program bi ono ogina ona serum ejina ho ena dumelo susu gina ho ogina ka so no de he's not campaigning for anybody bia or endorse will bia umbi but Stonebwoy aye nyama bebrame ehu say ono no o feel comfortable dealing with MPP than the NDC.
Okay.
Those who me na no endorsement to be unlike a year Sarkodie and rest. Shatawale the nim so no ono na Kufu Addo krabo na baso or this a key of Accra Sagana at the man on the Hong Kong ba. You know all of them. But Stonebwoy Nidimpi no, you see how the grassroots of the party said you can't do this to me. Yes, I do. And quickly, almost a sign. Ebe sine sankro for organizers or organizers event in Ukraine. Yenim sankro for Kromusru, so may you motive. Sen komu you many magana phone yanka bebuapa. So, and Crofwa bread. Nana and you area me bechiama maybe on any Mr. and Mrs. Champion. Sama miwe, me say, Ebeka nansa amia tuaba. Nante kron to me nante. What not President Mahama office throughout the whole day from Anopa Kusia Najo. Because now will be our day bepwa. Krofu be sacrifice ye. But I can say some Krofu after victory no o mayu o manim enyama kukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukukulaku even last 4 years of NDC in opposition, we didn't see them. Even 2 years, last 2 years of NDC in opposition, we didn't see them. Even 1 year, last 1 year of NDC in opposition, we didn't see them. Yehuamu few months and weeks to elections. And a sancrophone. And no, you say in some manfokra, dear Elsomo Predodo. It's ramping for say. Sancrophone. Mo biam pamomo. Ne momo mumbedi kiu no so.
Ewa
momo mumbedi kiu no so. Because o say ye kasa di entia NDC for say NDC reason ya omode amase de enti o ma kwan a nominate a independent candidate. I'm number second deputy speaker of parliament omode ma MPP no. Omo say omo kasa omo ma independent candidate e birim kwa no mo ye NDC for Omako independent or Masado or seat na beka in this one parliament no almost is mom's position. It's like Omar reward they for being disobedient to the party structures. The Omoka I don't know.
Okay.
But don't they also think say these people we didn't know them emu MC and no one chrono by and NDC for event omone edi hunten temano chronobano. Don't they also think say Sankrofu for the past 8 years any more and ne omonoma be frontliners. As if say omone and how to MC programs and event for NDC no. Don't they also think say they are also somehow showing say omo are committed to them for the past 8 years and more no? Much almost inferior na. And they should be very careful how they deal with people. Some people ending crowphobia our personal relationship.
Yeah.
And now that the party has won power, they want to draw them closer so that they can work through them. Be very careful because grassroots phobia for the past 8 years. I know and crowfoa and ne. Omudi NDC animu as creative art MC no nkronoba somewhere 2018-2019 Asante Bedi Etoye should be by menya boss kakra the next day that was the person that offered me on behalf of Asante Bedi Eto trying to plead on his behalf.
But enenu way side no
yes and say na ohira bedi kan and na sometimes nana obi kan na sa homa ni bitia ni abubum amuso na munya na nkronoba. But like I said, it's too early for them. Omun kontimamentia Mr. and Mrs. Echampo mame ewie mechia papa nana enura me bo asemi so e wa ha say about how a MPP trying to, even in opposition, they want to control and manipulate NDC government. Even in opposition, they are still recruiting in Crawford, awarding contracts and promoting people. Na me bo peniba kubidin ewa ha oko airport and harbor authority o kan Crawford ka say dodo no susu say omo se fata se omo betimi abekuta say de brani Razuma edin ewa ha say na nana. Like I said, NDC party is huge. NDC is political party or a Congress, National Democratic Congress, and son papa. Na sa penny and now after the show me nuanom a ebi ye communication officers, directors, executives, constituency executives, ebi kura ye parliamentary candidate, ebi kura winning elections. Nana, if they omuka so more list the contribution to them for the past 8 years, near 4 years, near 3 years, to the sense that when NDC lose election 2016, or making sure so we team mobilize serial callers over 20. Okay. And to pay rules so every month utiomoka every year your party momo every year donate the momo pieces a hodwa or support or more. Hey, if you have it pieces a hodwa or support or more and ya de ketwa na ma memo na baso na yenim se umpanyimfo ahodo bibire omo sefata e wo sa di bire na President Mahama na second come no amount of lobbying and ebe mo bi anya favor President Mahama anim to the extent crisis or no cry no woman crofo so mo nkotena radio so TV so social media lobby ma kra abi kra mfa ma because akwa ise tumi ni entumi na mo wase ahwene pa enkasa wonim obia bobre a wabo from the various position in the corner wo hye emo a waye de aboa ne constituency why the abuan region, why the abuan national, why the abuan kwenye he knows. And I know say President Mahama appointment so far chese or rewarded hard work, commitment and loyalty. And I know so obi be a why loyal to President Mahama, including so opinion mi boni dino. A brand swan, President Mahama and Sabe Canada. Na bibia setting we
citizen at Daxi. Memo official.
Hey. SP
citizen
afile kodi bronya no mi mani bi
official pa
Afripan ko botu na anama mi nche no mazo me mo so official pa
afisa se na yetiase
na ejuma pa ma ya mo man Ghana
na ipack ho ayere tare
mo na samina ma bado ma ejuma
ipack na ho ayere tare
na member na me tie mo nsem na America there you see sometimes inze yimfo ka ho na manfo bi wa wejai yama power ye because sometimes you see obi wa on pray no ho waze ho
samiti we
inti ori edwuma ne chekere de ahoto baba na akaiza waye that's all
yeah
sometimes they're not expecting much recognize me for the work I have done but unfortunately, it went there. Yimpa no tinchen. Na wuri ye dwuma na obi so da wori dwuma ya asua ne kukutan wala o papaza. Yimpa no all discourage wunumbom. When nyama koye ya na wa afro no mbom ha bana baado. Na we jawo. Bibi paro kodwa na wa afro no member ye. Hwe dwuma amaye. Now in government, what from media houses are, but should have certain media houses, then one are all rich in a wait from home.
Invite back Ukraine if you had that. Since I'm by invite back Ukraine.
You understand?
Yeah.
And some of these things,
whole class media group
for me,
invite back Ukraine be my had that.
For me, Nanama is problematic. And you see, sometimes. Unless I can be there, they are close to certain people. And it's true. Obina Yankofo. Na Yankofo no nyim there, they were not supporting the agenda you were doing. Yet you succeed in your agenda. And now the my Yankofo feel there because of one relationship with you, the Yanko relationship into they are supposed to benefit. You know what suffer, not on support the agenda you were doing. But because I was suffering. Now, when national programs come, you think that what's off no way invite them. You see, sometimes an American, I mean, woman did be American too. What's the power corrupts? In Tibimo, when your power where you from one.
At ye my referee.
But I mean, the Macau power because you see, sometimes. Some people have risked their lives. They've risked everything. And therefore, say, I'm reward the one or you don't even recognize where Juma pa why na ama one name feel there sebi ejuma wa ye no wanye no kwa mfaso bia ambado a you end up in a way killing the initiative. Echirobodu time bi there wo ye ejuma they will recognize for no na wa pa ba until those people end up getting nothing in the rest of their lives. We be kind of one bobo bra. Meanwhile, it's somebody that has killed their initiative, killed their enthusiasm. Bibi Pebian or one obi no way them mother. Inti ame mesrem painful. You see President Mahama don't know baby ocean. Already. Sometimes he might even forget now make a government president appointment or doyen or dosum. He might sometimes even forget that there's an agency that he might have to appoint somebody there. Inti those around him and
we are in charge of those things, no. We are in charge of those things.
They are the ones that mama won't pre one good thing word. Sebro opera 1K ejumapa munyina amaye is abwa ma change a yehwehwe waba. They be make a change na yehwehwe waba.
Okay.
The other change a wa kan yi emi na wo yesu be there sesa. Etefu a ye te wote yen. Ghana funa kan yesu yesu be there sesa. Yesu be na all of a sudden somebody who is just 1 week in government. 1 week. In there no year 1 week. We treat him as if he's been in power for 4 years. The expectations.
Fix it.
The expectations.
Yeah.
Ready there. Whatever it takes, we are ready to dance to the tune and walk the journey with President Mahama.
Okay. Sammy,
yentu fa na you as in penisi kadwe from abonu bedwa monko a na nka no yonko agya ne nan said that the bay or the better anywho. That's the position of MPP. Said ye MPP nye mfie nwotwe na omobra omobe Ghana for mark or mom 38% all my feeling no enti e ko monko anka ochina kra kwa akoto aba e ko monko ochina kra kwa akoto aba
omonte omo ho ase
you know I feel some of them omoda and I know say one thing I was saying this for you know say most of the MPP propaganda machineries no they are on leave. Some of them omoko exile exile because omankasa krofo nyo mom pomoncho. And I know say after few months all of them will be back. So NDC should always be prepared. Say NPP propaganda machinery no eba ababe juma. So prepare accordingly. Now share President Mahama Beyo Mampeni said this citizen car no and then now watch 7 days. 7 days ya juma President Mahama and mintimi nka ni nyina wa ha because na be record so kra I don't even know baka kra minimuni President Mahama I make sure say ura ye juma eno nanche the biggest threat anake facing Ghana for dum so President Mahama in less than just 4 years of the first term FXA the perennial challenge na Ghana for ye will mo which is dum so and make sure say ye excess energy capacity to the extent they export electricity to neighboring countries Jessica. That was the economy or handy over Edma Akufo-Addo after 8 uninterrupted years of Akufo-Addo rule as the most useless president Ghana enya. Akufo-Addo reduced the energy sector from the excess capacity near one. But so say afedie ye be full swa ye tinsuo ho so na come de yen. In the abundance of water, the food near that so tasty. Amaya wodoa President Mahama enyuma oye energy sector. Côte d'Ivoire, Togo, Benin, Burkina Faso, na ye export electricity edeko Akufo-Addo nanu ankasa na num asem 2017 March say export electricity edeko no wonim say last year na Ghana ye import electricity free Cote d'Ivoire ene deba
ye momu na fe ye import
electricity free Cote d'Ivoire
ene deba
ebra Akufo-Addo de independent power producers ka
ya obeti
sona na sogli for crowd omo shut down omo plant sikana na wasa Akufo-Addo di ti omo ka no what they say sika omo power omo machines no no ankane ano what they say sika no koma Cote d'Ivoire ban
aburo
e na oton kane ano
aburo
e di free Cote d'Ivoire e no deba. This is the energy sector Akufo-Addo elevate. Mahama betna so for just 4 years. Mahama generation capacity or the can ho na esosene already generation capacity obebe to ye over 2000 and something megawatt obeto from Kwame Nkrumah pension no the Mahama edebe kan ho no na eye more than the inherit ye from Kwame Nkrumah pension. This is the sector Mahama jaye. Mahama yen sweni in kra no na the mekan say awaiting problem I try no edum so
Baby, I'm not
Mahama didn't complain. And then Mahama, first, or to answer independent power producers, any all stakeholders are or more relevant when it comes to energy generation distribution. A moment not okay, Kwame Nebetimi Afaso, chaired by any chief of staff, Julius Debra, or Matana Papa do roadmap pa the assurance aba. We needed $90 million to keep our light on. President Mahama said there's not going to be any doom so, and indeed there's not going to be any doom so. And self-fidie noa MPP full sum edema no Ghana for to abama Mahama yen swan no mpo onswan onso afram nswan no ma hyase sum fidie de gu ama no Yankopa adom wafa no nyina mu eno ne nam so ama enne no we ne first ministry appointment by ya John Jinapo. John Jinapo was very instrumental. He was then deputy minister of power. Omo and making sure ebra ne boss ekoshe bo kwabna don kokoshe bo so be any dum so at this particular time I went to me na or resign you know. Samuel Jinapo John Jinapo wonu ne taking over adwuma making sure say dum so ya solve cry enti e kan krofo a omo brain I dey fix the problem ne crisis a John Jinapo is one of them. Wa point no ene bibia bekoso another threat ba ye yenu no muslim even cry fuel o mubenya distribution and so challenge it just came less than 12 hours or resolving nyina ene kire say Ghana for remember say see a kind of blessing Yankopon dia Ghana. One of the blessings say President Mahama Kofi no was ababio. The kind of rich experience or deba no Ghana for will never regret. Just 1 week ago, President Mahama etimi am make sure say security be bia stable. Akufo-Addo taking over 2017 for close to one month. Now there was insecurity. MPP vigilantes the TCMDC for fie Elbrun Crawford prepare omuku omo Zita omo friend say Sena Okitidua former MP for Lejekuku ano say minister for gender MPP for ko ni fie eko papa na ni fie glasses ese ne cars ema physical torture omo torture maame no ye won Crawford bebre ju omo cars ebu omo pra omo. Even the seat of the government, presidency, Jubilee House, vigilante timi ko chief police officer in uniform. AS Nanka Bruce or official duty. Ebo na tete na tade jin official vehicle edifrinisem. Presidential pool car baby on buy cars go omutimi ko to cars no ekokoton ye yehuni nyina. Ebra Akufo-Addo take over as president. There was so much insecurity in Ghana and Crawford kura to two omo shops mu na omo suro kura so mbeko shops. National Health Insurance Authority for office ye bowra ho ye rasakom ye robi omo jiosika revenue na ma collect ye jini nyina SSR computers SSR printers SSR na mani nyina okọ kind of saying sagreme ye bowra ho ewia ho niam nyina tobu to ahodo omu bowra tobu to ahodo ewrobi omo eye to ana o magine dey omu robo mu sisaye esa twaja kura to binu mu hye no. This is how na insecurity city when Akufo-Addo took over in 2017. Nana, can you say same under Mahama 1 week? Mahama is so smart. When Mahama realizing who say the kind of accountability and the speed I Ghana for to Abama no pay accountability no quick. I no nominate Ora team say mun take over because Mahama nominate sa Ora team na Nana, I bet you say by this time can people will be one man come your funeral. Come here gone too soon.
Okay.
Because people were ready to go after them. But the appointment of the Ora team no and a man Crawford who said now the president has elected Crawford and Crawford you are see and Crawford Ghana for me say or more integrity we bet me demanding for accountability. And tiano no water down and Crawford and Ghana was system no just 1 week we wouldn't even answer. It can take Akufo-Addo 1,000 years obet me ampeni for a year forever and ever Metusala unya sadwe bi da because sadwe we dey open ho de keto bi kura to ni trima e be blast it said dynamite ni tini ntimi contain just 1 week and Mahama side way and then can we say said the Ghana insecurity wa Ghana upon all the bufua e koso de ma e koso no obia comporte no and Crawford says so mo call state a year just a day obia require go back to a year state because when him say the governance of this country now no e won Crawford mo ye competent in somewhere or mo ye adwuma Mahama just 1 week achievement hweboku Mahama etiso yenim se boku de eho ntokwa na ese bola suja no fo ba boku fo no ankasa di adanse se under John Dramani Mahama omo enjoy peaceful coexistence awomwa na his kakraba nako. Can we say same under Akufo-Addo? Akufo-Addo appointed ya bambia no appointed ministerial portfolio in terms of security a doso sin Akufo-Addo to the sense say bokonkoano every month bia na bani the $1 million and they call muko chedi afedi e bokun tokwano anko ekusasefo ne mampurusifo ne konkomanfo ne ayo na afedi aposifo ne sojafo ne kumkusasefo state sponsored puo muko musa ena president Mahama obaye just 1 week wa free all security couples nyina na o machia ye ka say all boko ni mere presence president Mahama okudu okekekra no asend a signal say he means business and for that matter obi obo trimpo say o be cause insecurity in Bokono think twice because emran mfa ho nchewo. This is the leader Ghana for yehwehwe wo de no to nchen MMDC is less than 24 hours no revoke obi appointment and MCs ahodo a omutu galamsey na ebi mo hyehyɛ honom last minute kwamo sign concession protecting Crawford no ya do obi adwuma free ni sem less than 1 week. President Mahama Madam Pare no sa statement by there was some kind of discrepancy because utie President Mahama na sema okan ya asema okan ni say Yewura Kufu Dampare on fan a report emeto dwa emre no animanim ye adwuma wa ye de afa wo mo ayeku wo mo 2020 election any 2024 election on fan a report in Fambra. That's what President Mahama numasimi pie by no eno no we demand it. And it's one of the issues that President Mahama raised here. I don't need to say, all like Akufo-Addo, we be cat ye marry fee, and to Obama, when you real few wash out or say, no. President Mahama says, only the kind every promise I will make it to Ghanaians. Now, among them, promises are Nana, a funny pankwa, human's life, and internet, and the word do Bokono. 1 week, President Mahama, a Juma Oyeno. 1 week, President Mahama, Timia Mekisho, our appointed Minister for Finance, our appointed a year Minister for Attorney General, and I say Attorney General, Minister of Justice, our appointed Energy Minister. I may not go through vetting. I trust Parliament bet me approve 1 week. adwuma wa yɛ ni nana sit down mehwɛ ene the kind of confidence aba Ghanaian economy mu na no metete on confirm ma hu no social media say Dangote cement for as I decided say almost say resume more operations in Ghana. Dangote cement and I can tell you kind of investment confidence about Ghana no enya de ketwa ufi se die ntina na no Los Angeles omo baby ja Eshe California omo mayor omo governor ufi se die ntina no fa plane eba Mahama inauguration people don't really understand for business and investment and it was a special delegation sent by the American government and omo ba make sure say the women make sure say Ghana any America yon kofa no ebetumi akoso Mahama yes na ma we nyina 1 week Nana, go to Akufo-Addo's record. Okofor Akufo-Addo taking over 2017. First 1 month of Akufo-Addo. Wouldn't Majuma no ye? Or Soriano Pa. No appointing ministers 5. Now I'm a GT before the camera ba. Near fun and life. Now Ujna Obo dia. No abejana don sagu aguachi. No aboni this we were a yonko. Many no one go school. Mini papa were bang. To the extent say a Greek minister then I'm friend saying a free akutu our car say a poultry farming cash crop poultry farm was say a cash crop no a born and basso where they were bang Ghana nyina bad kwasemudia we na bang when my day che obi a if you near brain some man pra no akwatena se no a friend no offer say Kenneth Kuntunkunu go furiata no na begina ho no akoti Bible wa quote from head to toe na ne sagu nachi no abonabaso and oko school or no ken ofurata baby oko born a master's kra there or ne sansa no wa bin to obo wie na school ni close and the school no bi anko bibio obi anko bibio and the tell how Akufo-Addo wants to paint Ghana for say no wa fast na bin we unique wa bonabaso we wie sa no afre bo acheja ako no da begina energy minister na ne sagu nachi na Akufo-Addo gina na chikitwe bi no wa kan nsam for almost 1 month the Akufo-Addo ye no appointee minister for procurement minister ambassador at large Ghana for Koka say he was in a hurry to face Ghana's problem. Ghana for can you compare Akufo-Addo first 1 week in government as president to Mahama 1 week in government as president? Can you? You cannot. And I just say Mahama wa mama media grow. Mahama wa ba for business. And Mahama ba you know. We MMDC sir will revoke appointment. Opening back open was a revoking appointment with the mineral income commission whatever. I know appointing. And the mere fact of Mahama you know. Volunteering of what I see resign. And now, and I said, Nema who say, Biakati in your opinion, Samioku, or resign. Na eras I remember Trinkawai. I miss all we knew, yes, sitting, your mouth Trinkwa. My ready resignation letter no. Na mystery. Which is a Samioku resignation letter now. The reason tia or they resign say, the man for Atwa man. Ama se emrache bedwani ama wo swan a wa sha se na dwuma ese emrache bedwani ento de sa na dwuma na to ho a onye eye director general emfa ma national lottery authority biom ento kwa kwa na dwuma the simple ko jobe say na tata me awuku ye to aba mo December 7th January 6 anajo January 7th anwache ena ye so in me no ka se wo committee so the committee so we adwuma committee share na adwuma ase until why do you wait till 13 January to resign if indeed say resigning because you have been elected and sworn in as a member of parliament and to play ura why do you wait because our election was done on 7th January and you were sworn in in 7th January 2024 and why do you wait till 13th 6 days more and son will resign but wobuno let's give that respect one train ma abane ma on one will say ne papa mu a abane appointed no abane ko enti adent was what now wobuno wode nadwuma to ho omo self respect you don't have to wait for President Mahama to revoke your appointment You don't have to wait. I was so one kasa would do a juma to an hour. Minimum kasa baby one more. Omo do omo official vehicles akọ but omo resign ti kwasi ko so gina kwanti na adwen ne se bo so me so obesa agi aketua and to on fan resignation letter anko and to wo twen no phone and so refi no an kan se na me hye ho no mu a na wo draw ne salary kakran
boss no so
on kwa do ko do anoche okokra ono okokra na na chief futuro okokra enti do the needful. President Mahama government will not wait chance to be out. Yenim say nya before adamo ni honhom and na twa hu ahia. But President Mahama government has no business witch hunting anyone. Those say them you witch no. On witch hunting nemum if you know what is right. Make sure that you do what is right. Because you never have your day. Nano a yes citizen what mo MP. Afenyo marking at the President Mahama. Say President Mahama shouldn't dare. So obey nominate NDC ni say omrambe ye MC ewo ye efutu. Na President Mahama fire eye MC o na me twen say afenyo marking o kasa se bionu a na nisa prinkensi ma ye di waduro asini yemu wa abe no na me expect say obeka say ono o makwan e masa revocation no e affect MC o honom. Now we are waiting for President Mahama's nomination. Now nominate obi ye hwesa afenyo marking ka say o masa nipa na ma be ye MC ewo ye efutu ne nipeto mu nya so manfo mo tie efutu mde me ameka me kan mo President Mahama ewo tumi Ghana mamra no man kwan so be nominate o de ne ba assembly members na meto aba afenyo mark free say or control all the assembly members ewo efutu and for that matter one e be chere be omonto o maba enko ento bibia President Mahama de ne be ometo atia no say President Mahama de ne ba na mutu tia no a it doesn't stop President Mahama of being president or it doesn't stop him from his authority and power to nominate another person. Obeko so nominate ti for 8 years, 4 years, 20 years na se mo preso mane ma President Mahama will continue na mo mpuntujuma amadia na mo so bo na bo mo sasa bonsam be bonsam a wosimo so afenyo maken no na mo de mo no akwakotoro so nya President Mahama eti President Mahama wa sha asie yie na nyaminti obewie yie na de make ne say wo hwe President Mahama first 1 week no a ade bia wa ye bia magana phone say ye nu ye ho na ye nu ye ho say ye to aba de ma President Mahama na mo hwe nkrofo e complaining any the challenges eba is not from the government, it's from the party because the initial comment na ye kan nyina those arrangements no were done by some element of the party. And they should make sure say omone aban be go the same direction. We don't want situation na aban am right na parties soon am left. We don't want, yes, we don't have munyina munko the same direction, munto the same direction. Don't let the government interest supersede the party interest, and don't allow the party interest to supersede the government interest. You should have one interest, and that one interest is Ghana.
Okay. Citizen memra also ya hwe President Mahama ya ene wakopiem oboko
Nanama mekade President Mahama
IPAC member
President Mahama watching it is possible. It is possible to have President ordering Ghana for him. It is possible to have President Ofu there or end or to do no was seven, but he should serve the people. It is possible to have a president who is a listening president. Strangely, all those who said it is possible are now saying it is impossible. Matida was it is impossible to take out E-Levy. Let me be said there. Intoni Gideon Bwaku. Otswana or will develop manifesto for Nane Boston. Nane Boston will be E-Levy if you want. Now I dana no home.
The same person, February 9, 2024.
He said it's a bold solution.
Or say Baumia's decision to abolish E-Levy, others bold, must be applauded. Gideon Bwakon.
Yes.
The same person. January 14, 2025. Government plan to abolish E-Levy. Betting tax violates IMF program. Gideon Bwakon.
So what do? You said it is impossible. Now you are saying it's impossible. Anyway, see, oh yeah, me there. President Mahama is tackling all the priority areas of this country. He has shown it there, and Oyazibia, okay, President Akufo-Addo. You see, I'm the one swearing and I'm the call. A day before, so I don't know what happened before swearing or after swearing in. Or call Flagstaff House. Of course, Flagstaff House.
A day before swearing in.
Okay.
And or the vice president committee. Yeah.
No, Omoko. I think that was third.
Okay, not a day before.
Yeah, but it was before the.
It was day before swearing in. Yeah.
A day before swearing in, right?
No. It was
2 days.
It was several days before.
Okay.
It was several days.
No, they went first one for transition.
Okay.
No, one now. Tall. I'm talking about the one who went
day before. Any day before.
Yes.
No. President Akufo-Addo Shienu. Now, President Akufo-Addo said, hey, Mr. President, you are working. You seem traveling all over the place. You are everywhere. Now, President Mahama Kande, I'm doing all those legwork so that I want to start. Kick the ground running immediately. I'm sworn in. That shows experience. Or trade and pay or experience. What's na a muda? Therefore, only baby or tackle, and that is what we need at this time of our lives as a country. Numu dol. Inti yenyo bia auto system na ase. No ye mana all bebu suanya ma. Obeyeziame. So it's good that we have a leader who understands the terrain. Into obenum, on the energy or a serious issue. So let me tackle that. Kantamanto fo a wonya ma hye wo no. We share them egwezifu nyinara. Enya president ota nkofu wonyama even when nsu kra why a dam spillage no kra yeta asem okaka e kire ho. Yeta asem okaka e kire ho. But this a man, he has met all those different stakeholders so him that they are integral. Ma o mine fa promo fado ore. And I'm also away to ozu koboku no yesre mesre ye nuanom a wo boko na nimputem sa asumdwe bebo ko ogina mamudo because ogina modo can any other external factors bia na urban some amount kwanya want to me at least you have a listening president who is ready to listen to you and not take sides. We have a president who does not care about or he cares about peace in the place and he says it as it is. What promise to cry what man and all also one can do my because my president also the yen the Kanye asumdwe. Mumma shusha asumdwe ne kan. Nan kan obaba. Into your best say you no na e best say you anum so wo fi won a won hu tegem wo won because in anum bi wa won na wo fi na so won wo te chi na wo hu tegem
ma ya ni political
wo kwa na wa ko tu egum na won na afi wa ba. It is up to those who are still there not to allow themselves there one day bia won mo soja na won day njana yen yen because jana oba mo na mu dem when curfew wo wa mo na mo curfew no into one ma water true na yama de one fan de one fan kwen you know in the at the end of the day sabi wo wi ana wo eja ho no wabada nti esre ye nuanu mo won mesre won so won ye pampam som na asomdwe pa ye hwehwe ombra boku afebo na omma de manto no mi na impuntum bra za wo hwehwe no so abanetum aye na za abron won na mizdin keke de asomdwe change na hwehwe no wa bewi sisia mo kan won yi pampam som because what's so man your be ya no fiame na wo ye bra ye be no say your man ona so no your man ye ye hu oba zefo no we ye hu zo be ye o man penyo zefo no ye hu mo be ye nyama wa say ne nyama wa say chon. It is time for all of us as a people to say never again. Imbom yenya crowd there, baby a no kwa there no kwa bottle, baby a bibi there the bottle na da abo mo man afọ ne tampe fra. Nenjay, we are already looking for the downfall of President Mahama. I've seen already people sending out information saying, "Oh, he promised this, he's saying this, he promised this, he's saying this." Even yesterday at the vetting, Kofu Kansen Bian also share work at them, near them and work at Obayan 24 hours. Them know watch him when they were doing it. Since I was wearing them. Why? Why are we in a hurry? It's just 1 week. It's just 1 week. So why are we in a hurry? And it's not just under President Mahama, they are Mekade or Mampini Bia Bedra. And Mekada ya 4 years no sir. Inti Omampeni Bia Bedra. At least the first 2 years give him the breathing space. Let us see the Yama why ye do the bottle.
Okay.
No be sabi the pay bien bonye. In there just 1 week. We should just be praying for him to continue to make the right decisions. Mutraton Mezmami MP. Honorable Afreno Alexander. Kwame Namake.
Obahamo. Obaha dream ho.
Oh, Nanama Morian Uncle Dunye.
Obaha dream ho papa.
Na ono no zbama.
MC Hona a municipal na say district.
Aye, municipal.
Me so Obaha dream ho papa.
No Uncle Dunye. Emi bi na dam no ma no aye kodo aye hi. Already na nkasa no nyim. Emi de bia me kada you see as a person, unfortunately for him, all of a sudden oye subaya no wonu mu a na e ka obi mu nte ebi mu hu. But now they've seen it. Share from about 2 months ago or 3 months ago. What the new is he's all over the place now. You keep hearing him, okay? A comments no do more come. Na the ma common opia yan fan say hande. In the 14th January 2025, the ma common someone showing here the ma common was in a boko position because he has won the election. So in a way, he's an MP. But if he doesn't take care, that is the comma way for that position. And he can mark it on the wall. Because you see, you sometimes want to make yourself there. Ball. The same subay na mo fasiane mame me pese mi gisiano. Onana afia Mike Oye. One from leader of MPP because one from majority leader. Yeah, you continue to say you are a Democrat and you want to tell people how they should refer to you. Oko parliament, what is that one from or saying? Because the title I want man for simply into one friend or saying. Mama one friend a honorable African one friend or saying. What is that ego? In that, what was the essence of that walkout? Walkout no yen. What was the essence? And you see, he's asking very infantile questions. Sabi, as Sembisa on from Puntubiamba, Sabi Mofamba won't be said among questions. And look at how he was referring to people. Our on your grassroots and what for forms and what film. Honorable Affair Marking doesn't fill his forms in Winneba. No for soldiers, no one fill the forms, man. It's in there you are referring to people who have come to parliament to support their nominee. Or be a president are nominating. Was naturally by four foot soldiers and forces of foot soldiers don't made it do. Really? But who made you? Is it not real that people?
Once you cry 8 years ministerial position when you be that. Because of credibility issues.
One incident and we are more than no best row and this food there. A woman view what it's all a cacran will be your ministerial position in California or about benches. When your ministerial position, I'll be your ministerial position. One ministerial position and you're in
Anya be 8 years.
One ministerial position or they are him able to my and what I'm more Marian. And I'm telling him his people don't want him because they know his ambition and they want to kill it. Until they want to sacrifice him like the way Kennedy Japan was sacrificed. Or you won't be honorable Kennedy Japan. Kamna make catch now. One coffee one pewasem and you knew by so we from say kill. What can I want for minority leader in Mon, but William Joshua and 2 months simpa. And 2 months simpa. Instead be a net and grand, it did wait with all the other MPs now will lose here. It did wait. Him. What kind of minority they want for more? William show. So if you want to continue to be the machete boy for them, they are going to use you and dump you. Because Obodu baby, or catch that you are no more a presidential material. And we know that's what you want. It's all saboteur. More ye PPPA budget. It is too early. Ninth parliament just starting. It is too early. There ye dig a bed GCC. You bet bread. Me will leader. Bibia pede kawansam. When your people are there, train your people to give them that exposure and room. As a leader, no, you sit back. Oh yeah, dear. Now so regional. Now when I'm a leader, no grand kokoto chero decay. Who's who training munyadi? In Kasa, you obia one day you've not done any serious research. What the bro when I can? What is this?
You are preparing the other two and you.
Oh,
any series.
Bisa sama no mu yedu. Bisa sama obi way a one day ancestors or them for super bro money. Only that is as if you want to score personal point and score a.
But I'm crop from so any Japan. Said you might know that friend markings here the bureaucracy or vetting committee as
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I wish them the best.
Okay.
But share Michi and the Michi obi on your Ghani. Or a Nigerian obesre obi wa ha. No, be some the is this what you people do? That man, touch the moon or your friend marking. I must tell him that his ego is a small one. Small one. And he's not serious at all.
No. On send your oil that.
Oh, yes, serious.
I consuming but on
but who does that? More yen in Cambo from be a wab for free. The toffee were free. No way ye, no opinion. I shall wonder 1 yen of them. But you are not the one who does that. Chairman of the committee, why discharge nominee? Now, excuse me, please, Mr. Chairman. Really? Really? Is that what the leader does? You see, unfortunately for him, we need the tutorial that he has to get. Because you always bulldoze his way through. Into the tutorial, or the rising, we need them. People don't realize it. He has never gotten it like that. He has gotten certain things. Either what the man, he just rise like that. Exactly. So, should you always assume the combative character?
Okay. I was for me first the Emma Rush energy drink. Rush energy drink is say fatigue. Na say bia pese boost to energy level. Na the fuana ahoden sonko eba woni pedua mu a Rush energy drink. Enwenu mu ahoden e na ye de Rush energy drink vitamins wom bibia ebi ewom ya eboa. Rubber fo no mate fo no nom apedi fo no dwam fo ma ne mema ne carpenter fo no wo bia nom mason fo enti Rush energy drink de noa ena ahodi wom ya otabia eba center no patabia hebo mixture obi malaria ni fever hawo honam duamu edwa wo wonu moto awuntimi didi no madu papa na hyehye kama tabia heba capsules nso obi asisi yade ne yamtimu hawo wonso waduro ne otabia takum 100% organic ta no sachet ni bottle ho no mu a wonum bi ebia wo bedidi anase odidi wi ani nyina wutimi nom enroye busu Ghana baby otonro bi okashi drug lane dosopomu ho vetted and approved by FDN Nanama. Nti monom ne saa. Fra 0243 686861 0243 686861. Top Choco chocolate spread no. Ya de fa bread kama papa chocolate nsu ankoda ni dia boy Top Choco 3-in-1 chocolate drinker. Milk wom cocoa wom sugar wom. Do hia no nsu ohie. Esi kire wa milk we asem bia ni bebia nti no anene ekodwa so ayeto kogu fie. To phone friend 0243 033 033 0243 033 033. Abusia yentwe homra na yento aso.
Salute! Hey! When we send your police in your draw, Imbusaba Mesa Abama Huaden.
Refuse to grow. Any offense will be count.
And what day immune system or Yankopon, and you're ready for Grandmusa Moya Hubano, and Nasa Wunum Imbusaba Mesa, a Peja immune system Nabribia. Ya Rientimu. Sasa dear, a man for the one, Eddie Imbusaba Mesa, Dodon dance say, and Yarwa who ran Nipa and Nina Etimi Banaso. Ene nyaruwa kesian kaya wuti ni din ene ho ka na oyamwa siwu nyina no ebo ye ho ban afri ho enna wo mpa omu wa nyaruwa ne dada na omunum doctor enuro no enum Imbusaba Mesa no a emo ahoden pintin ya wo munti mpo se yare ase omu ho Imbusaba Mesa ewo kansi ene o maimu babia ye to enuro atufo mfre 0246 208496 FDA ahihye se adwede nkratwe magia to mu say ye
Starter, it's too far to dance. Oh,
what? Try is with the market women.
Everybody can do what he does.
Be bold, be you, be you. Be bold. Be you. Charlie, be bold. Oh, chairman. Be you. Brothers and sisters, be bold. This year, be you. Let's go. Be bold, be bold, be you. Be bold, be you.
Rush Energy, the bold EU.
Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended. Persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Give us P capsules. A memedry. Manum biya benemua. Kani mitutu ya na minkuma bua sese Betu esa kum menia G. Give us P capsules.
Give it to me, baby.
Give us core capsules as well.
A man meme nyina koko yadie. Sisi yadie amamanya yem timotete womono. Yedruno no. Manumbi amama deme hon.
Give us core capsules. Mrs. Simoye ding. Give us core capsules.
I give it to you, baby. You give it to me.
Oh yeah.
Hey. Give us in no. Amen nijia bebusiemu papa. Na bema ka give us P capsules. Eni give us core capsules bomu nom dia. Na enijia ni ahwade no.
Wabrudo.
Give us P capsules.
Meme wadi ifiedu watwede kronkwa na efa.
Give us core capsules.
Apemfo abatra wo mo manufo ne nkwada wo ne ifiedu mienu nka ho. Ewo drugstore bia motofonko Give us Herbal Center, Teshi Mobile, and Teshi Adriami. Phone numbers 0543 222 470 and 050 68
FDA Aje Edwedi Nkratui Atu.
Everywhere you go, big go for the friends and the family. Big go, big refreshing moment. Big go for the kids and the adults. Big go, boys and girls with a drink up. Big go, everywhere the party day. Big go, we go mash up the place with it. Big go, greatest in every battle. Big go, big go, big go, big go, big go, big go. Big refreshing moments.
Bigo drink. Big refreshing moment. Another quality product from Trillium Industries. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, say the Mako who our Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. No, me who credit me. Say and Nunti no mania award. A word best. Obian Transe Emma Dumpemia, dear Cassa, and as a boy, dear and canon to the view.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. A son you want to say near Kro Etuno, near Anka, I want to know. Obana Bemo Power, and Yarwanka.
Nancy Mameka say, and the Spana called Mo Ekayeno. Greenfield at Arumanti and was our soldier and also a PM.
Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Our ultra modern laboratory and a diagnostic machine, sir. I should show the Greenfield Scientific Herbal Clinic. Our Nungwa Dogon, Estate Junction. Last stop. Frewa was 0243 983 906 and 0261 651 898.
Greenfield.
God is our healer.
Greenfield.
Your last stop.
I believe. Now me say, if you brought me who the bia we are active, very strong and energetic.
We are 100%. Na nina ne sadie me hwe me ni padua sofa na de boa me mama hoden mama timi ko bada ene tabia zanika heba mister
Tabia zanika heba mister. What do you want dance here chere me?
Ho dance here de enya wonko me de dawure na ato so na media chere nipa mpempem tabia zanika heba mister ma to ne de nyamyama sa wonom a emenkwamu a ewo nipadua no mu a ye fra mu sojafo eye wide blasters na hoden enti nipadua ni nya hoden soronko kutia yare ahodo bebre enti wonta nyare enti na dam ye strong no eye general well-being of the body mu babia
me am to me hu anya sabusua bia here
eye busua chamfa so obi de ne ho to tabia zanika heba mesa so a eden so obeyare na nya na e babia tonto aduro bia tia ne nso se obi a onya mfinhye dumienu apemfo ene abatan a oma manofo entimi no bi FDA ahwehwe sa adwade nkrato mu agye to me se ye.
Welcome to Post-Election Monday. On Master of the Game, our special guest is Professor Ransford Edward Van Jampel, Professor of Political Science, Founding Director of the Center.
100.5 FM.
The face of television is changing in Ghana, one program at a time, and it's getting better. First and foremost, on CTV, Ghana's #1. This Wednesday on CTV's Master of the Game, with His Royal Blackness, KKD the Finest, our special guest is Ajete Sowa, former Wall Street dance champion, former Ghana national dance champion, and the first ever dancer from Ghana to fill a stadium to capacity. Currently managing proprietor of AJ's Royale Guest House, Station Estate in Accra, the all-time master moonwalker and body popper, dance entrepreneur, Mr. Ajete Sowa. A delightful show hosted by a master of the game. Whether you love power, money, beauty, or fame, there is much to learn from Master of the Game, 10 a.m. to 12 midday. Master of the Game, only on CTV and the Class Media Network. Also streaming on Class 91.3 FM and on Facebook and YouTube at MyCTVGH. Is this?
I was off Accra 100.5 FM, so the Citizen Show. And a brother area, yade assume yade kind I catch and rap. 3 nominees, Echo Parliament, vetting, Dr. Kesa to Forsen, Finance Minister Designate, and Dr. Dominic Ayeni, and so Echo, Attorney General, Minister of Justice, and Affairs, Energy Minister Designate. So, John Jinapo and so echo vetting. And see, and one and another chi so President Mahama Abanai Akopiemu Ewoboko. Ya near echo so no stakeholders na him for name, Cromani opinion leaders na and so Edi Eshiemu. Nana Populisto and so a Johnny and T Nana Akwabai.
Yeah, Odo Nabokolie.
Yeah, dear.
Odo.
I'm not your love, please.
And you see no men just say.
Yeah,
yeah. The 20 minutes no nia.
Can you 2024? No say. Oje no so ya media. Okay. Me ba ko she.
Media so ye krobi wa ya.
Say power ba ntiro wo say no. Ministry appointees no nya bi.
Nya bi.
Aha. And the hopes. Idea was so pa.
And to be a man, I am media, I am do be to be a mayor, ya or ya media. We am near ya wo faase
yo
no anu ne yakoya ni obi amese me market
kokokokokwa ya bobo anu ane ba
me nua ma ni mu de na wo a you say we mo faase
nana kokokokwa
anyway nana ma me tiefo na ma me tiefo na me chia me nua no ma omo ensusu ewo studio ha omo di djuma kese pa som omo man na me mo abaso so ne adwuma so a wo ye boa o my Ghana
edasi
maybe you know na me tie dwumadie no na sene da bia tie no im say citizen show there I just say when you're citizen
na untie citizen show
because citizen so at the studio and nyina so we are proud citizens of Ghana nti I was following now the attorney said Nana John Mahama has begun well. He has really gone well. Why adwuma so just emretia we bi just say so wo hwe aman panimfo ahodo a omaba ifri omanpani Rollins a ono akra hand over to himself for the first time in a very long time. A friend is saying PNDC, Eba NDC, on one hand over to himself. Now we share how or she share na buy. Now we share kwanya or faso eto tone nioma. Na we share President Kufuor abra obeye mampani. Ono so kwanya faso to tone nioma. Now the toto eye omampani Mills any onwa kasa John Mahama no oye na FM e kwanya omofa so omohyehyɛ omaban na wo hwɛ hawa onwa John Mahama so Professor Mills e kɔ ne kreachi obedi mfi bosomi nsia anaka na wo hwɛ kwanya ofa so a ono so odi nkunim ohyehyɛ na aban na in fact John Mahama has beaten himself to his own records. Many are the issues we're dealing with within this very short period. On a normal day, no, you don't expect say Mampenia wabafufro kobetimide abasahari so ayesa and yomano. Now it's because the reason why we were talking to Ghanaians about President Hamani say Eden say Ibenya Nesaso. Because you see Sene Senkenya Mra Ena esi Omampeni Kufuor ho kwan Ena sebi or sebedi Mampeni bi mo a ejidi say enyo bi wo ho a wo aban mo ye ya anye bia no onu hu oti ase nipa mintimi ka bi ma no da na wi ase ase ye Akufo-Addo se da chi bi nyame mpangu senke se nya mampan friends amemmo emra constitution na yesi o Akufo-Addo timi say di mampani bi mu a I cannot vouch for him. Kufuor Krano, I will do so closing one eye and leaving the other. But nipa na mintimi en nye me ho achi nye da John Mahama. Because ni sinto no krampo no e sinto a e wa ban mu a che say is because or a human. What you say? Unse nipa bi e won fomso e wo mabrabom. And any pebinum ashe won ho bone. What you say? John Mahama will not intentionally commit adia a year wrong. He will not intentionally be wrong. What you say? Sinto de woni pa from ntino adia ba ku mienu miensa bi wo a obetimi ehun se anko yie bibi ti say Bas Brandon. You see that is not directly under his stewardship. Ebia is under an auspices like transport for no Minister for Transport Jifa Ativo at that time and ono oye djuma bi na ase ekof sike bi ko fa akofo nsase eno krampo no you could tell how what take kekempo no the reaction Emma Jifa had to resign.
FM.
Just Bass Brandon.
Just Bass Brandon.
Scanny Womukra was like 5 million Ghana cedis.
It was 3 million Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
And no crime a 1 man demonstration.
Wow.
Emma, just because John Mahama, His Excellency, or Tiyeke Kempono, Jifa could not contain the energy in the area. Oh, she had to resign. Obi se me pese me beye man pen me pese me nya $1 million. Just at the mention crack kese o pese o nya $1 million wa bemu no. The person had to. Minia Vicky, no was say because you could not be in John Mahama's government. Show obi to say Abuga Pele. Onya obi keke o. I mean, they have come a long way. Obi ni yonko brabua chese aye nua ne sa. They say me ni bobie na me say bobie me de akotum. And I say me ma ye bone bobie smith or the makotum. What must I say? So it tells how John Mahama is. And dear Ayana sometimes among for who say he is very, very selfless. Onyo bia sebi ewiasia fair ne fair there be. Yes. I mean I dey fair the man MP. The new swap was so onimade fair. Say was say me ye adwuma onim say ade we was say nchirima be hu say me na me ye and the dreams ne so. John Mahama is not the man in a hurry. He is the man with a vision. And obi a vision biano, they come always prepared. Because they say odansi for Bible church odansi for mu say or you be or ye prepared. Na yem planning a dan wa bra misimi kosi dan yo. Ye planning ni what them. In chance na be pia bonten say me kosi dan no. Na wunim say me wo breacher sika, me wo steel bender sika, me wo surveyor sika, me wo bia sika including even the oil quantity surveyor obetimi a chese dan we will see we are ne bo be say. Enti nyesa afena me kwa koto ye friend say anwea one trip dia ba be hyase na ebia emfie mienu miensa achi we sa wo dan be ka dem otiase. So as visionary as John Mahama has always been, no, you could tell how when he was member of parliament he was, when he was minister, deputy minister, vice president, president, and with this experience, no, and how vast it is, no, Ghana ha dey so benya neseso na wasabe mampani wakofie osi no mesese nioma ekoso na sinto way. So I don't expect say John Mahama will get anything wrong, even though I believe say as human no sinto there but to get it wrong there is going to be very difficult.
Okay.
And until now ministry appointments, no, it's not as if enka eyobia kobo se wa yenu sakatu o person o ma hu ne direction enunti hwenipa o appointing o mo no wo hu se enyinam kanea ho asem hu hia papa wo hu se emra nsem hu hia papa because e sinto e wo enyoma Ghana fo hia se wo so wo ye no wo attend to no emra ene wo se de yes ade no nti mra sem hu hia papa. For example, oral cannot be very effective when we don't have an attorney general and minister for justice. And John Mahama is a man to the core of every definition of every word. Nti so okase minister for justice and yes wo kwa kofu bi te say Godfrey Damia ono ba be ne puppet. Now ono play the puppeteer. Na ono no then it becomes like a puppetry. No, he will not. And you know, he has looked out for the best Attorney General and Minister for Justice, who is a well-distinguished personality, Sebi, or what doctorate in Emra. Any munsem, Oshaya, Supreme Court for Omokase no be church to say, Otumi Maya many yabo at some point now feel very uncomfortable in himself because he was making him look like a fool. I mean, not just to say the word, but at least say Obi Awako Suku. Now you have thrown your certificate away and you are now using say the commonest wisdom. Not even wisdom. They say every wisdom is wisdom. I mean the commonest language. Say what me out to statute actually kind black law dictionary. I mean how weird can a lawyer of that stature be? And he was very blunt. I say no more say na or nipa your friend is saying or you're predetermined. Yes, why? Who is not predetermined? Lawyers are always predetermined before they enter court. Because when you say our client not the so you are predetermined. What is wrong with being predetermined? What is wrong with it? Because when you say the end Kamrani say, and the Mrani can a predetermination. Because I know that informal with decision. What must I say? And you know, all that will go through with the election petition in 2021 and what Baba Bedru baby I would dream. Yankopon Adam say Wabe Ubia on Neba Shemra in some Suagana. And I believe say he has a lot to at least correct, if to use the correct word. Correction is much needed in that office because they say the office has been tainted with a lot of very weird and very unpleasant and Yoma Mintimingika. Say Minister for Justice Timmy Kwani will be quiet and say BMM fa atu force in tomb. Dia and I say boa abansifo atu achino and abeye tria so go titri. So if you look at his appointments from Atuforsen to John Jenapo to Dr. Ayeni, it should tell you that John Mahama is very serious a president.
Okay.
And Nana, so far, so good, to borrow the words of President Kufuor. So far, so good. Just to add, say, very, very good. But there are so much Ghanaians are expecting from John Mahama. And baby, I was here free, no. A yara. No, say the way Ghanaians see NDC, no. Anyhow, we measure them by standards, no. Way ahead of sending you MPP abai. It is NDC ba bemwa. And only Dawson because the expectation now nipa here free NDC abai hono. A such expectation I be here free MPP abai ho. Enti sa ade si akufo ado apen so no. Senke bi si John Mahama apen so anka kudita be yadwuma. Onim de ntia. NDC and a war your democracy. And the expectation I got for a war free or mohono. Eso because Ghana for a dream on the titru, yeah, a be a you Rollins are buying no. Any near course so ansana your friend is saying or back democracy mono. Now you need GDS say dear Rollins a year no, from 1992 to the year 2000 no. And now 2001 no. Now you need GDS say Rollins obetimi a transition home from soldier buying to a civilian government obetimi outperform on one even when it was a military government outperform ne ho enyoma bebra Rollins here yentimi modin NDC for mu ade omu nim yaye so omu bo omu adwuma ho daru omu sin tokese pa no. And I'm believing say John Mahama being a communication expert, you know, he won't allow for this thing to happen again.
Okay.
And unti mesre say me de manusi adia anra na me nuanum nyina na omo discuss who be here by communication. There's nothing wrong building a communication your friend is saying office in every office. There's nothing wrong because you have to understand say oye phone bell and oye phone wa to media ni nyina kopem se mo beji sika e wo mo ho a mo awia no. They don't care paying that money to the media because the media was part of their syndicate, their criminal syndicate. Media no was part. There are some journalists that they could not afford even rent and them do call mufia we be show meanwhile ni pay no ko busan say ni pay yes ya eye kitu ani abi it say due ba emore edue na mu ne ba ne more na so so no ko hu mansions ahodo a omu onia we be show. It's not to say journalists or obobre anyo, but how can the watchman who is supposed to be the watchdog no be the thief and be protecting the thieves? Ebasa then ya to ye ho atwene It is a wohwe enyo ekoso na emomo nya omadwen say a business as usual. Yes, we don't have to be so hard on ourselves. However, it's not business as usual. And you say amanfo betie Peace FM news, on betie UTV news, on betie Joy news, on betie Accra FM news. No. You have to force information down the throats of Ghanaians, especially the Awaye. There be you sumi mami example yi ofri amanone ba obedru terminal 3 February 13th 2017 till between that time now it wasn't possible any government could have built terminal 3 but already bedru hono or say Akufo-Addo ban and say and wetimi ayewe till between 7th January to 13th February.
Less than 3 months.
Less than one and a half months.
Okay, 2 months.
So 7th January
to
February. And no February 7th.
So 1 month. 1 month.
1 month. About say 6 days. Beboa. Already say Akufo-Addo hey obey adwuma on. And I say now when they betimi 1 month esi sa dey we. Now say concrete kra wo ya 21 days and sana cure. Enti no already now you say enti Mahama na yen am say Mahama na say Mahama yin so. To what me adwuma we nyina wa mo hu dey ro. This is not to rebuke Minion Maneboama or anybody, but it is because the communication gap was too wide. Me, I have never hidden it when I have to rebuke you or to tell you how it is like, because life, you know, Obia will listen to. And a must had any been CBM for the past days. Yeah, John Mahama Beye, and then I watch Pepe Pemboa, and then I watch Mahama Beye President, His Excellency, and then I watch a Juma Wire Dawson, but there is a communication gap, huge communication gap, which we don't have to repeat the mistakes of yesterday. Any question may struggle to know the John Mahama because every step of the way he is doing something. Everywhere he goes, he is doing something. That's John Mahama. At the click of a button on his phone, he is working. Bibi bia oye bia e adwuma na oye work in progress.
But na unim.
Enti no message am say.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know say bia. Omo wo media houses be a few media houses be almost select one more. Omo give out information to them.
Wrong.
Because
there were times.
Yes. Adwuma CMG. Citizen show yankasa fish out information
wrong.
Your agenda
wrong.
There's nothing like say the party communication bureau and answer presidency communication team no ebe mau information be say deal with this issue for us, tackle this agenda for
there
us.
There are two parties in this country are almost strong, MPP and NDC. NPP on ye adwuma no obebo the rule say waye, NDC be ye adwuma no omo hu the rule. Enti de bia no MPP is seen in the public space say omo ye adwuma Kenya Akufo-Addo ena oma enguasia ka omo na necessary social media nti bibia ni na akola ketekete no akoyi ato oboa ama say kura Akufo-Addo krom friend na oboa uko TikToker na oboa.
Okay.
Enti no mesra omo sa de ne nko ade so omo and try and correct sa mistake na see 2016 no na so mo ye o madwen say e wo se nipa hu fine
because wezo afa
wezo there
because wezo afa so be ehu
no say wezo ama enka o my we enke betiti apansa
no the me chance say e so wezo ayenti no e wo be ehu so be enya
no wezo is working like Accra FM is working like any other FM, CTV, UTV, Joy FM, or whatever. Everyone is working. Now, no, there was that gap. Traditional media no allowed the space for John Mahama information but travel farther than baby ano mopeno. So, Wezo became an intervention, which was an impeccable decision. Now.
beyond
no, I'm saying
but class media
I was just laying the foundation.
XYZ media is
that
there.
Does not mean
yes.
That does not mean say Weasel has filled in the gap. It has done well, making sure say John Mahama will be given the exposure. However, there are other media firms sometimes and yes say you say Joy from Pen this yasem and I say UTV and now you a Peace FM from Pen. It's never like that. The only myth. The only thing is that how is NDC building the relationship with the media firm and the personnel? It's about relationship. There are personalities on NDC more. They know Nanama directly. They know Hunto directly. Sa yen said here Dennis and your man, your fam more bra. Patawa yasia or semen chia Obia Nanchao. Pata yen fan kwa yasen kochia. Okay. Oh, mon bia munsem.
List of my men.
Mon mani pen hudo. Moni nipa en kita hudie no. Mon mani nyafe. Na relationship and a media ni or continental radio station na so obo hu de ra. Ebi okwa won soma no no abekwa confidential information about the border road ma man san hu. Okay. Eti mon building relationship. Mo mani nyafe. Sadia no samo ya John Mahama so obeye adwuma de adwuma no obeye. Okay. Na mom say adwuma de bebo hu de ro no ehu hia kra chance wa ye adwuma no because obi wo wa anya adwuma esu no obo de ro so wa ye adwuma. Onto sa gap no de mo make sure say the bridge no.
Na that's it. My menchia o hima mascara I would say if I do o hima mascara so nkumi na nhwe dia. Na je say de wekasa. My wa mascara send me message no am respond and then am hu ye na. So this is a Supreme Court as someone patano wapa judge or him so their show. Ababe kabia mame. Nana Adeba kwa message NDC for adwin edesisu and he say Yewo amanyuku a friend MPP.
But your mammy send me same time grass into the
how many minutes? 10 minutes. Okay. Yewo amanyuko MPP a omo tradition ni say omo ye konongo kaya omo nsoa omo nso omo bi nsoa Ghana enhu kutuku ampa kranhye mu a na epa asene a sebio yehu kutuku fa kranhye mu ahu abubura kan nyina Ghana downfall eye MPP which is UGCCUP tradition. They are the saboteurs of Ghana. There's no single government aba in the history of Ghana politics and from tradition more man sabotage no. They sabotage Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah built a motorway. Osi Akosombo Dam. They sabotage him.
My time is up.
Almost sabotage no kusi se mutu na banguye. Na a whole lecture on its own.
Yeah. Citizen fracture
and this for mankind. The kind of oppositioner manu mo etie which never
me da se abusuafo me na masena enkopesi camera why enkopesi camera
Joe ebusia mama wa Joe ama wa ha mama wa chen mama wa kwaba de aba efidie so Accra 100.5 said their citizen show sorry Sweden na chese wa woni tua se wunia oba wadanfo Kofi Nyameche Ghana for Kofi matena se de na chese mesero Benji Estate and Investment from common keten na ye de ebrel na utumi hun say last week na me catch us say official pa na me sam ma welcome back. Happy new year. Now me pacho general no ye nko baby is still fresh and is still young. Enti new year ni de temwa tula. So what I say, kosi se media me gidi se kosi se bosom first quarter ni betwem na chese afeno ya teso. Enti ya tena se de na chese nkomopa na me de ebrel na Benji Estate nso de unim se yesi ayeyo ye ka yeyo ye tu mra na ya kire wusi a ye tu ewo so. Yensemi na so firi po ase ho tro futuro bia eni so eni ntime pacho Benji Estate ye di nkomodia na pacho ne ye ka kire wo se Accra aye choke nkran aye ma nkran aye dusty nkran aye chese once na ne ntontom ne nkura no adoso Accra wonye bebi mpo mfa wona nsi na so se de atie bia no Benji Estate Investment say o pass ase e wo baby biara ye benye bi e de amount anything na Benji ye sha say ye no twetwe nkomo abosome baako ba ye nsia ne mroye ena ye no edi nkomo ntiminim se won na edi kan aba ya so ye ne de omu di adanse no omo aso e ma ye customers esan say de omo ba ye no a ye ma ho no omu eni aso enti Benji Estate and Investment say fausika bra beji asase a me patro langa da asemi ni so manso sem eni so na afi enuoma nyina deda na akwan so na mpo aban sahye ye dwumedi a ye di ase me patro 10 years anniversary ye shensa ase hu dwumedi mfinhie eduni hure ya de nyaminti yenya abanyama ni nya ye ne obia yenya ye client bia ho asem bia na se oni yenya issue bia enenti minim se woti toto mu na mo bia fichi nkomo nya ya nka obeti akwa akosi adaje ne e brenti a pacho pese wo gi nchiremu a me pacho ya homa ne yensesan ya adwene wo ho ya adwene ya kwakora ya adwene ya bere wa ho Benji Estate Investment say pusu ya homa ewo 0248 78 0887 0248 78 0887 ana say 0553 11 66 02 0553 11 66 02 me fani biem 0248 78 0887 0248 78 0887 anase 0553 11 66 02 0553 11 66 02 Benji Estate and Investment yes asase ayetu no sre ene abasa ayefo ti said their fools egu forma wokọ no wekusi na wa hye no high na so Benji say nsase ye be ma obi e ma wa to a mpacho udibesi wo dream house no enti ye wa asase ewo Chopoli eye new airport city na ye kan new airport city dia na mpacho wonim say eho ene new airport no ye de airco na asase we me pacho eye 25,000 Ghana cedis 25,000 Ghana cedis still 20,000 said the yeshas yen nsesa yen fa bi nkan ho enti ye we e de ama won a omote yen kan omoboabo won ho nkosi se January be ko na wie ye de na chese sister bra wa mba ne walo wala wa na wa ye ho enti Benji Estate say yen sas ne da so a e de ma donkomi eye 25,000 so still ye de ma 20,000 na 20,000 yes for 5,000 Ghana cedis beto ase with the 5,000 Ghana cedis to ase na ye kutwa asase 70 by 100 e de amount 70 by 100 asase no e 70 by 100 mpacho hye no so say yen sase ni na enkania ene nsuo ene akwan e wo ho enkania ene nsuo ene akwan e wo ho e 70 by 100 ena ye twa asase no me pacho san hye no so mam say Benji Estate say yen sase no ye koso memene nde biara Saturday bia ye ko yen sase no so ena no so obefre he ahoma na mede ma ho no na me pacho wa ba office ayaye de obekwa asase no so asan ede wa ba asan kra ma nsu ana drink bi snack bi na mpacho de ahwe wo hafa na hwan mu na ebe yi we agise Benji Estate and Investment ne chese pacho to asase wo ye ho a enyira ye japade kese a wodi usika esie pacho mfaso ebeba so afi Shai Osu Doku asase ye friend Shai Hills pacho asase ye ton 30,000 now so Benji say ye the amount 25,000 ye two mo yemfa bi so enka ho me patro ye twem mo boaboa mo ho ansa na mo aba no mo amote ye nka wo mframem yempa so bi baba ya se no ka so ma ate dada na afi na my reading so me ba na atoso debi aninti na wunua oba wadamfo kufi nyameche mejine mo ede ama wo se bra beti asase no nti ye Benji Estate ye se ye nsase ni na ye well demarcated insuo nkania ene akwan ewo so nti Benji asase ewo Benji Estate and Investment na maami wunim ye won sase bebre ho ma obi bekase wo ya de ne boofo na titezi obekọ na afi de na akoyi usu na akoye setwere mpacho yesrew ye ka kire se okukusi ni suma eni neni nti Benji Estate for wala hwe mfrinhie edu 10 years mpacho wotumi ho sɛ yɛayɛ ade pene he na yɛayɛ ade nyame di yɛ ho afofi nti yɛse asase no deɛ yɛde bɛma wo na mmom efom ayɛ den nso to nso fom yɛ den ɛne nti yɛ sɛ obroni si installment ana installment pacho kyɛ sɛ tuatua ne nkakra prensema pacho ne de yɛnyɛ nyinaa obroni si commitment fee for 5,000 Ghana cedis beto asase na ase na asase no sɛ de ane bo tie bia na wo tuatua ne bɛma abosom bɛyɛ nsia ɛkɔ na fe wo tuatua anampo wo de wo ba yɛ aso yɛ ne yɛn kasa sɛ benjifo mepam asase no na mbom mesika sɛ to say ye beto ase sister bra benji de bacho ye nya basabasa essence onyankopon na odin aba bedu bebia ye dui enenti yenim nipa bre afi asase etoso miensa eye afienya eben Tor Estate bacho Tor Estate which is Tama Oil Refinery na mpacho benji asase we no ye de ma 70,000 mpacho hye no so 70,000 so ahemfotini e bi didi bi echi obia ne bebia na ho oden obia ne bebia oye good wo obia ne bebia obetimi agina te say dey field a ye bobo wo so ne ye number 11 ye wo 9 ye wo 8 ye wo 4 aha nti obia ne bebia otimi play mpacho ope afienya asase ne dey ye 70,000 benji for say still 10,000 ye dey achew nti say ye dey ma 60,000 ye kodi bronya na wie mtempacho bra beje asase na Mr. Fire would dream house and afesi would dream house 60,000 Ghana cedis 60,000 Ghana cedis afienya asase no ben Tor Estate no mepacho eno nso ye 70 by 100 and I channel and into budget asase mepacho asase and ye